Yeah, let me take a nap real quick.
Yeah,
Sure. I mean,
totally.
let me get in the headspace because it's been like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me know.
La, 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 la.
Me, 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 me. Yeah.
Let me know. We're good.
I'm good.
Oh, I'm good. It
Oh,
was a
I was,
joke.
I
I
was,
was
wait,
here.
oh,
I was waiting for you.
I
oh
was
no!
making an
I was
actual
waiting for.
joke.
I thought you were doing a recording thing. Okay.
Oh,
Uh, all right. All right. I'm beginning.
hi, beginning. I'm dad.
What?
Fuck.
Sorry.
Good. Good start.
Is
Okay.
that the first thing in the recording? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When last we left your group, the Blue Hearts, you had just discovered that a number of people from Umberlee's embrace were being taken into the sea by what appeared to be undead revenants. Uh, in response to this, and in the interest of saving these people and potentially saving the Isles from whatever undead menace was present here, you resolved to journey to the main island and seek an audience with the High King, who you discovered was Jarak the Unifier, Goth's oldest brother. As you traveled through the islands themselves, encountering a number of towns where there appeared to be some sign of uh, undead presence, either mostly non-hostile, some a little stranger than others. Ultimately, you made your way to Cragbreaker Hold and to the Cragbreaker Citadel, where you found a sprawling, cultured city of Goliaths before you. Finally, convincing your way into the keep itself, where Goff revealed himself as the long-lost Cragbreaker sibling. You encountered Goff's brother, Jarak, who...
Hi, I'm sorry. My mom just came in and started talking to me, and I just missed like a bunch of stuff. What? I'm
Oh,
sorry. Where are we?
I'm just doing the recap.
Okay, where? Are we? Okay, just keep going.
Yeah. Um, you finally encountered the High King Jarak, who was not too happy to see Goff, needless to say. Initially coming at him with a knife that Goff managed to subdue. Ultimately managed to calm him down, and he began a sort of a fierce argument with Goff over their clan and their brothers and father, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, you learned that the undead menace coming to the shores of Ira Cragbreaker and beyond was a result of what appeared to be a new island that sprung up from the seas only a few weeks back. As soon as this island appeared, whatever was on this island was causing some sort of necromancy. So he suggested that in order to deal with this once and for all, you would likely need to reach the island, and to reach the island, you would need to cut your way through Orn and his fleet of pirates. However, he also cautioned that because you were all considered outsiders among these people and among this island, the very magics, the guarding powers of Umberlee would be working against you, and that likely if you tried to set out for that island, you would be sunk before you got very far, either by the terrible storms or by some other terrible creatures from the deeps. So, in order to essentially become recognized among the clans, he proposed a number of things. For everyone but Goff, you would participate in a gladiatorial-style fight against a terrible monster at the pit. However, for Goff, he would have to earn his ancestral clan title. To do so, he and only one of his allies would make their way into the Cragbreaker clan crypts, where they would confront the trials of their ancestors. So that is where we're picking up, as Goff and his chosen ally, Midoania, make their way into the Cragbreaker tombs. Gautam Cragbreaker, the captain of the guard, closing the tomb door behind you as the rest of you watch as your friends descend into this crypt. And that is where we're picking up. As you, Goff, and Mido stand in the antechamber of this tomb. It is cold. It is musty. There is a faint layer of mist on the ground that is circling around your feet. And the hallway appears to lead deeper into the mountain as it snakes around to the side and down a set of stairs. And you are left alone, the two of you.
Alright, I kind of strike my hand against my hammer and cast light on it. If it's, I don't know, is it like pitch black in here?
It's there's sort of like an ambient kind of a cold light. If you think of like the Skyrim dungeons, basically.
Okay.
Like
well, I still light my hammer.
Okay. Sorry, this is going to be the Goff and Mido show for a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry to everybody else. Okay,
Give me
continue.
popcorn.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry, it's been a while, so I always get anxiety about doing my voice again. I just look at Mido and say, ready.
Always.
And I just start making my way forward.
The two of you,
Eye out on the walls for anything or anything
Sure.
distinct.
two of you with cautious steps begin treading down the steps that no one has tread in many years. You circle around the side toward a great door that leads out into a larger tomb. And as you step forward, there's a flash of light in the center of the chamber. You throw up your hand for a moment to shield your eyes against it, and then when you look again, you see what appear to be two figures. Spectral. They're wearing long robes with the hoods up, and they are simply standing there with their arms folded in front of them, surveying you. Their forms flicker in and out, sort of like static. Their hoods, the interior of the hoods is just completely pitch black, and they are standing there waiting.
How far away am I from them?
Maybe about 30 feet?
So they're like there's like a big open room that they're in,
Yes,
and we're at the entrance of the room.
correct.
Okay. Do I know Mido can or cannot help me in my trial? Is she able to help, or is she only able to witness?
She's able to help.
Okay. Then, with no need to make that warning, I guess I just slowly approach
Okay.
the figures.
As you approach, a voice echoes out from one of the figures. It's female. This figure speaks and she says, "It has been many years since one of the Isles has sought to undertake the trials. And it seems that you are quite old."
Yeah,
You call.
it's complicated.
I sense there is urgency in your being here.
The Isles depends on it.
Very well. At this point, both figures lower their hoods, and you see before you two Goliath women. They appear fairly old. Their faces weathered with age and the scars of battle. Their hair on top is styled almost like a mohawk, but with a braid that goes down to their waists.
Sweet.
And they look toward you, and they say, "We are," one on the left says to you, "We are Fjoli and Vuni Cragbreaker, known as the Lawbringers.
Do I know of them? Have I heard of them before?
Never heard of them? No.
Okay.
I would say that you never really indulged in your own personal history, so you likely don't know anything about
Okay.
these ancestors. And this will be our trial. You may ask us anything you wish, but know that we may not answer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is the trial me asking you questions, or am I asking about the trial?
One of them sort of cracks a grin. I apologize, it has been far too long, and when you have only ghosts to keep you company, you sort of lose your manners. No, our trial is in the next room. It is the trial of judgment. You will be tasked with discovering who committed a crime and reasoning why you think that is so. But again, feel free to ask any questions of us or of the trial.
May I, am I free to discuss it with my ally?
Of course.
Are there any... I was born here, but it is not a place I am fond of. I have a complicated history with the archipelago. Are there any behaviors could be considered, or gestures that could be considered an offense to the ancestors?
The ancestors are merely observers. We will not take umbrage at your actions, for it is our responsibility to evaluate you.
Very well. I look to my... do you have any questions?
I just moved my head in a way that like knocked my headset off my head. Just fell right off. I just kind of fold my arms and I look between the hooded figures and Goff. And I'm just here to fight.
Well, there may not be any fights, but...
Well, I'm here to support you. I don't have any questions.
Yes. Okay.
Very well. If you
I believe that is all. I cannot think of anything else. I will be truly who I believe myself to be, and I will face this trial.
That is all that we ask of you. Very well.
And as I say that, I remove the cloth covering my shield, and so that the symbol of Eldath is visible again. Just sort of as a, I don't know, because I've been kind of trying to draw attention away from myself by hiding it, so now I'm brandishing it again.
If you have no further questions of the trial, or if you do not seek knowledge of your ancestors, then we can begin. Please step forward and into the next room.
Very well.
Okay.
And I move forward.
All right. As you both move forward, and as you pass these two women, one of them says, what you will see in the next room will be almost like a still image. You may interact with it, but do not expect a response from anybody present.
I just nod.
Okay. You move forward beyond these two figures and into the next room. As you step into a further room of the tomb, you see what appears to be a scene that has played out, and it is almost like it's frozen in time. You see a feminine figure lying on the ground, draped in a brown cloak, face down, blood pooling beneath the body. Right over crouching beside the body, you see Anna. And off to her side, you see both Jack and Medici grappling one another, and they seem to be arguing. Further off, you see Dr. Walden surveying the scene. And a little further back in the shadows, you see two figures, a man and a woman, both cloaked. And they appear to be conspiring. And that's what you see as you enter this room.
And is it just the people, or are there any other is there environmental detail, or is it just the people?
Immediately, you just notice the people.
Okay. So there's no, like, structures or...
No, it's just an open tomb. There's around the walls you see what appear to be, just like sepulchers and various.
Right. I was wondering if like there was an illusion of like the environment that the group.
No,
this is in.
They're just standing in this stone tomb with mist sort of forming at.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna be a character. Go ahead.
Their visage, are they like translucent like specters, or are they like...
They appear solid.
They appear like we would appear to each other.
Yes.
This isn't real, is it? That was a character, sorry. I didn't know you were done.
Well, Jirok said that everything in here was very real. I don't believe he meant that this is Anna as we know her, or the rest of them. But I believe it was a warning to not take things lightly. So we must take it as seriously, even if they are not attacking us. So I see, I can deduce, I can see basically this original group that all these people were a part of.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking around. And Goff kind of, his throat kind of gets a frog in his throat a little bit. On the ground must be Anna. Or, I'm sorry. No, Anna's the Liza. I got confused. The ground must be Liza. Because, like Anna said, according to her, Medici was trying to kill Anna. Liza stepped in the way. That's what we've heard before. The two over there, and I can't tell anything about them because they're disguised, right?
They're cloaked and they have hoods up.
Based on what we know, or we have been told, this must be Ellen's parents. Maybe not. That's my first guess.
What? I'm sorry, this is out of character. I don't know how you know all this. Because I may have missed a session or something.
You may not have been there. There was when Medici... You weren't there when Medici got killed, right?
No.
Okay, so when Medici died, sometime around that point, when Anna killed Medici, because we brought him to her, she told us the story about how this group of people, they were kind of like a predecessor to our group, where they were kind of working together, and so it was Anna, Medici, Jack, Ellen's parents, and Liza.
And Walden.
Thank you.
And Liza...
And they...
Who's that again?
Liza is the woman that saved Goff after he... I didn't initially say it this way, but apparently Goff, after about, like, 10 years of being on his own, after escaping the archipelago and getting back, this is as he described this part when he first started speaking to everyone.
Okay, right. Sorry, I just forgot her name.
He got basically mangled by a bunch of like wolves or some kind of beast out in the wild, and he apparently died from the wounds, and Liza brought him back to life. The reason he apparently died, that I suspect that, is because when Goff went when everyone got fucked up by the dragon, the void the whatever it's, the dragon has like this made of this fucking void shit.
Matter dragon.
Yeah.
The void matter. Kalimvor implied that this is the second time that Goff was being saved by Liza. So I'm assuming that this first time was when he died, when he was attacked by the. We don't know that for sure. That's that's entirely my conjecture. But I'm sorry. Anyway, so
I was just saying that I didn't
she
remember
saved
her
him
name.
from that. What?
I just didn't remember her name.
Oh, I thought you were asking if... Okay,
No,
well,
I'm sorry.
I thought you didn't know who she was at all. Okay.
No, I just forgot her name. So
Okay,
I was
so
confused.
all these people were in a group that were working together a long time ago, and Anna told us that Medici tried to kill her, but Liza just jumped in the way and killed Liza instead. And I don't know how she came back to life, and I don't think Anna does either, or she didn't tell us that she knew that. But in this scene, it seems to be based on what I guess Mino wasn't there, but maybe I think for the sake of party solidarity, we probably explained this to you at one point. Can we say that happened off screen? Like, I feel it's important for Mino to know that. So, so that's who. Does that help? Is there anything I didn't explain, Lauren?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So basically, Liza's the one
on the
laying
ground.
on the ground.
That's my guess. I can't see her face right now.
Oh,
right?
okay. So you think that Liza's the one that's on the ground, and basically a lot of people from that we've run into at some point were involved in a cool group. So kind of like Final Fantasy V, where the warrior is the darkness and then the warrior's light.
Well, sure. However helpful. So based on guesswork, I can't see them directly, and I don't know what they look like. I don't think I've seen a picture of them. Goff hasn't. Goff is purely guessing that the two figures that we can't see very well are Ellen's parents, because we knew that her parents were part of the group, and they're together, and they're okay. So now that that's all redefined, I want to walk around and take a look at everyone individually.
Sure. Okay. Who do you want to start with?
I guess whoever's closest. I'm assuming it's Anna and Liza, or whoever is on the ground.
Yes.
I want to. Is there a way for me to get an angle so I can see for sure if it's Liza or not?
You as you get closer, you're actually able to interact with these.
Oh, I can move them.
Yes.
Oh, I thought they couldn't move at all.
They're just not going to talk to you.
Are they frozen, or are they?
They're just
moving?
Frozen. It's like a still life, basically.
Okay, so it's like they're like it's like time stop, but I'm not affected and I can move them. Okay,
correct.
That helps. Okay, so I want to just move the hood or the cloak to see if Liza's the one on the ground.
Yes. As you kneel beside the body, you pull the hood back and you roll the body over a bit, and you see Liza's face. Her sandy brown hair matted with blood, her eyes staring up, unblinking through cracked glasses as she stares absently.
I put a hand on Goff's shoulder. Sort of supporting.
And I shoot a look towards Medici for a moment.
He is in a struggle with Jack. The two of them have their hands on one another, grabbing by the arms or the collar, and Jack just looks furious.
So, what were the names of the two that spoke to us just a bit ago?
Fioli and Vuni.
Fioli and Vuni wanted us to decide who killed Liza. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And why, and to explain your reasoning.
And why?
Not why they did it, but explain why you think they did it, or explain why you think that person was the one who committed the crime. If that makes sense.
Right.
Not the motive, but essentially
why I think that they, based on what I know, why I think they did it.
Based upon the evidence that you see before you, why do you think that this person is the one who committed the crime?
It's more of a these are familiar faces, but we're basing it more off what's in the group than anything.
Correct.
else.
It's not necessarily how it happened. Don't presume that just because these are familiar faces that it played out as it did in history.
So, whatever magic is used in here is drawing from things that we know or have heard about. But it wouldn't be so easy as to just be purely based on what we've been told. Then we have to examine everything and make sure to make correct decision, even if we might have been told otherwise or feel strongly against a particular individual. It's all part of the test.
I glare at Medj. And then I
Okay.
nod off.
So,
Okay.
I want to look at like medicine or like
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
Eliza as much as possible.
Yes.
I always forget my bonus to it. 17.
17 total. Okay. As you're looking over Eliza's form, you notice a number of injuries on her. You see all across her arms what appear to be cuts from like a sharp weapon, as if she was holding her hands up to defend herself. Around her torso you see what appear to be bullet wounds. Occasional burns on her shoulder. You see what appear to be burns from maybe magic. You see near her legs what appear to be sharp cuts as if an arrow grazed her. You also notice a substance, you barely notice this, but there's a substance sort of coming down her mouth, drooling down her mouth. It looks like a sort of like a greenish substance.
Do you see anything, Goth?
Quite a lot.
Anything I can help with, or you want me to get split up?
Well, I mean, there are marks of all kinds. Burns, cuts, arrow wounds. What
So-
appears to be some kind of poison, I might guess. And I point at her mouth.
So that makes things a little tricky. There's not a clear method of death here.
I'm guessing I don't glean that just from the medicine check.
No, you don't.
I can't.
Seems like she has a number of different injuries. That's what
So
you
they're
noticed.
trying to trick us, huh?
It's likely. So, based on what we know, they're trying to make it seem like it could be anyone else. And she's the only one who's hurt or damaged, right? Everyone else looks pretty good.
Well, you haven't looked at any of the others yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look at Anna.
Okay. Give me. Well, how do you want to look at her? You want to look at her in a medical sense, or just like investigate her form?
Investigate.
Okay, give me an investigation roll.
Okay, I have a question. When the total next to my investigation on the skills thing, that's what I add to it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Roll d20, you add that.
I'll throw these dice away. I've got a
You got a
Got a
natural
one.
1.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's definitely Anna. And she's just crouching over the body. You do notice her face looks a little, it's sort of scrunched up in a scowl.
Is this Glamored Anna or Dragonborn Anna?
Glamored Anna.
Okay.
Well, I didn't get anything from that. Maybe it's not her.
I follow up. Can I just do a medicine check? So I guess see
On-
if she, not
on
necessarily. Yeah, not doing like
Yeah, go
necessarily
for it.
anything. Just looking for any sort of wounds on her person or
Sure, go for it.
21.
21. Okay. As you are looking Anna over, you sort of pull aside the black vest that she typically wears, and you see underneath on her white shirt it appears to be stained in blood, as are her sleeves. You don't see any corresponding wound.
Does it look like she was holding someone who was she holding Liza when we found her?
No,
Okay.
she was just crouched over the body.
Blood, no wound.
So, if she has no wound, then it's not hers.
Do I know? Will the glamour cover wounds? Maybe I'm not even in the right direction with that.
That's a good point. It should, in theory, but in this particular scenario,
It wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter because this is
Okay.
all
right. Because it's all
magic.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm gonna, for my own brain, because I'm gonna forget stuff. I'm just gonna be writing down everything that I'm. So,
Sure.
Liza has what appears to green liquid mouth. We don't know for sure, but I'm gonna guess some poison. She has bullet wounds. Does the location necessarily matter?
They're on her torso.
Bullet wounds on torso.
The knife wounds are on her arms, as if she was holding up her arms to defend herself. There's like a gash in her leg where an arrow may have passed by it, and there's on her shoulder you see what appear to be a blast wound from magic.
Okay. You said something about her eyes. Was this she was just like looking blankly?
Yeah, it's just like that death stare, just straight ahead, like unblinking.
Were there any other details I forgot?
Well, from the medicine check, that is what you got.
Okay. Hello?
Hi, Mel.
Oh. Hey, Mel.
Mel!
Oh, that's very quiet. So the Anna figure has blood on her shirt, on the
And her
arms and
sleeves.
torso,
Yes.
on
Chest and
shirt and sleeves, no wounds. Okay. Okay, so, well, let's be thorough. And I'm gonna go to the next closest people. I'm guessing
Okay.
it's
Jack and
probably-
Medici, who are
yeah.
grappled with one another, and
right.
yes, those are the two. What do you wish to investigate here?
I guess I'll start with Medici, looking for... I guess I'll just keep doing medicine, because my goal is to see if anyone else had any sort of wounds on them, to see if there was any sort of fight between anyone retaliating, basically looking for scars or remnants.
Sure, give me a medicine check for Medici.
Yeah. So Medici, medicine, not as good, 13.
I'd say even with that, it's fairly evident to see that Medici has an arrow sticking out of the back of his knee.
Okay. Arrows.
He took an arrow to the knee.
Okay. Same to Jack. I'm gonna roll take a look at him.
Sure.
That one is 14.
You don't see any wounds on him at all. You do notice, I will give you this, that you do notice there's like a couple of gashes in his trench coat as if he was attacked by a sharp weapon.
But no wounds.
Correct. I'll just give you that because it's so obvious that
Right.
you don't really even need a roll for
Surface.
that.
Okay. Mido, feel free to look for anything else. I'm checking for signs of combat.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Medici and
okay.
what's his face?
Jack.
Jack? Okay, are you investigating or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna investigate again.
Alright, give me an investigation.
God, please. Oh my God! I rolled a 20. Okay.
Wait, nat 20 or
natural 20?
20?
Natural 20. Yeah.
Whoa,
Okay.
sweet.
So, what's your total?
24. Let me make sure.
Well, you have a
23. 23.
23. You don't have proficiency in investigation, so it's just 23. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You look over the two figures, and here's what you notice. You notice that Jack only has one hand that's gripping Medici's robes. The other hand is holding a gun that he is pointing against his gut, Medici's gut. You look at Jack's hand, and you notice that there's powder burns on it, as if this gun has recently been fired. Medici doesn't have a weapon, but one of the hands that he is holding, grappling Jack with, is sort of crackling with a bit of eldritch purple energy.
Okay. So you said, I'm sorry, what was the very first thing you said? I think I missed that.
Jack has a gun against Medici's
Okay.
stomach, essentially.
But it
and
looks like it's been fired recently.
Yes, because there's powder burns on his hand.
Got it. Okay. And I look back at the body and I.
Hmm.
So, Medici, if you look at Are you busy?
I'm probably just standing there. Well, I'm probably like it's
I
probably
beckon-
happening simultaneously.
I
So
beckon him over.
okay.
I point out the powder burns on Jack's hand,
On his hand or his gun?
on his hand.
There's
So
powder burns on his hand?
Yes, from fire. Well, he fired the gun, and there's like powder marks, basically.
Wouldn't the powder marks be on Medici?
Well, from the discharge from the cartridge.
No, you're very
Oh.
quiet. Is that
I
hold
am.
on.
I don't have like. I'm just on my phone.
Okay. I'll just turn you up for now.
Yeah.
So okay, so wait, so I'm seeing. Can you just re-describe? I'm sorry, I thought. So what I'm seeing is what Mito's pointing out is that there's powder burns on his hand from him firing the gun.
yes,
But it doesn't look like there's any
On
corresponding bullet wound on Medici. He just has the gun against him.
but it's pointing against him. Okay.
Yes.
And then Medici has his hands like conjuring or has.
He's like summoning basically an Eldritch Blast spell, which you have seen.
Is it pointing at Jack?
It's not pointing at anything. He's got his hand like he's grabbing Jack's
Away.
trench coat by the shoulder, and as he's doing so, you see his hand is kind of crackling with this
Okay.
energy, as if he's about to release a spell upon Jack.
Well, it seems that the trick is that they wanted to seem like everyone here attacked her, I think. Because there are bullet wounds, there are arrow wounds, burn marks from magic, attacks from blades. We have to figure out who really did it. Why? So let us not finish. Let us look over Samuel and what I must guess are the Maharials. So I walk over to Walden.
Okay. Walden
And,
is simply standing there. You see him with his hands at his side. Slung over his form is his alchemic satchel. And you see what looks to be a vial in his right hand.
It has. I'm guessing that I can. Do I do a roll anything, or do I just tell that's the same green liquid as?
It doesn't look like a green liquid. It looks like
Oh,
the vial's
it's
empty.
Ah, okay. I want to roll medicine to see if he's been taking any injury.
Okay, give me a medicine check.
21 again.
Okay. You see some burns on his torso that look like they're from magic.
Okay. And that's it.
That's it.
He's also been attacked. And the vial could have held poison or acid, but I did not see marks of acid on her. She had something in her mouth.
it could be that.
Could be. But the vial is clean.
It's not fully clean. There's stuff in. There's like residue
Oh.
in it. Yeah.
Well, can I look at
It's
that?
empty. Yeah, you can. Give me a nature check.
Nature?
Yeah.
12.
12. Okay. I will say with a 12, you are able to discern that this vial once upon a time might have held a healing potion of some sort.
Or it looks like a healing potion.
There's something else about it that you can't quite.
But something
Comprehend
not,
with a 12.
something is something I'm not. There's something about it I can't. Something doesn't look quite the same as a regular healing potion about this, but the base seems to be a healing.
Wait,
So-
is Mito? This is still. Sorry, only Mito is still with.
Yeah, only Mito is. This is just
Yeah,
Mito
this
and
is-
Goth.
Yeah,
This is
Only
the
my
Mito and
Goth
Goth show.
this is
Yeah.
only one person was allowed to come with me in here.
They're
So.
solving a myth,
Yeah.
Mari.
No, I just wanted to make sure that we were still there.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, the rest of you are outside of the tomb.
This is basically a scenario that has been through the magic
Yeah.
of the crypt. It's not like definitely what happened in the past. It's just using, I think, the memories that Goff, or the thoughts or memories that Goff has, of what he's been told. I think that's my guess as a player, but it's it's pulling things from us as Goff as an individual, and it's now I'm trying to figure out basically the murder mystery. Yeah, for your own context, Mel. That's why I explained.
Okay. I think I have been away as long as I managed.
Oh,
All right.
all right. Well,
Sorry.
thank you for popping in when you can.
Yeah.
I'm literally alone by a lake in the rain.
Ooh.
No, well, this is me. Yeah. Have fun.
Okay. Good luck.
All
Bye,
right.
Mel.
Bye.
I know.
Bye.
And I
Okay.
also point out the burn marks to Mido. He's been attacked. Maybe he healed himself, but I'm not sure.
Who was?
Do you see anything?
Who was attacked? I'm sorry.
Walden.
Walden. Hmm. Do I see any what?
Goff just asked if you see anything distinct.
Can I take a look at Walden?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. I'm rolling investigation.
Yep.
It's me. I'm the master of investigation. I rolled a 9 total.
A 9 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see anything other than what Goff has already pointed out.
No, I don't really see anything, Goff.
Okay. Okay. Those burn marks were on his torso, right?
Yes.
And
What did you roll for that medicine check again?
21.
21. Okay, I'd say with that the burn marks on him do not look like the same burn marks that are on Liza. They look like they're from a different kind of magic. They're not from an arcane magic.
I will point out, I believe that the marks on him are different than the ones that are on her.
They remind you almost like your guiding bolt.
No. I have seen this book. And Goff looks back over at Eliza. And you have too, I believe. You've never looked close. The guiding bolt, the crackling light of energy that I use.
Mm-hmm.
She is also capable. And it looks like she might have struck him with it, based on the marking.
Walden?
Yes, the marks on his torso resemble that of a guiding bolt impact.
So it was a big struggle then.
Seems like everyone fought each other. Maybe.
Then I guess we need to find out who dealt the killing blow.
Yes. Let us look at the remaining 2 figures. And I proceed over to the hidden figures.
Alright, so there's 2 figures in the corner, both with their hoods up. They are turned toward one another. One of them is a male, one of them is a female. The man appears to be holding a short bow in his hand, and he has a quiver on his back. The woman doesn't look like she's holding anything, but she's just turned inward toward the man, as if she's sort of averting her gaze, basically.
Am I able to pull down their hoods?
You can certainly try.
I would like to try and see if I can see their faces.
Okay, you pull the hoods down on these figures, and it's eerily unsettling because it's like you're looking at faceless mannequins. You've never actually.
I figured out this would happen. Well, I've never seen Mel's parents. So
Melvin
they wouldn't. There's nothing to draw from in my mind. But I believe these must be Maharials in this vision. Is there a body I can do a medicine check on, at least?
You can, yes, you can still do a medicine check.
Do I need to do one for each body or one for both?
Yes, you'd have to do one for each.
Okay, first one on the Mr. Mahariel is a 25.
Does not appear to be injured in any way.
Okay. Mrs. Mahariel is not as good. 10.
You do not see any sort of wounds on her.
Well, it's hard to tell, but I believe they haven't been struck.
They have or haven't?
Have not. I do not see anything on either of them.
Then,
Do you notice anything strange?
when you roll an investigation check, and I'll tell you, Goff. That one hit really hard. 14.
14. You look over the two figures. The woman's body language seems to imply as if she's averting her gaze from the scene out of just being devastated. The man is, even though he doesn't have a face, his body is positioned looking directly at the scene. You sort of spin around the figures and take a look, and what you notice on the quiver is that it doesn't appear to be a full quiver. You know, Mido, that typically there's a typical quiver has maybe like a dozen arrows in it. This has 10. So it seems to be missing a couple of arrows.
Were there arrow? I'm saying this, Scott. Were there arrow wounds in Liza's body?
Yes. There was a mark of a gash on her leg. And there was also an arrow in the back of Medici's. So I believe we know where the arrows came from.
There's two, yeah, because there's 2 missing.
Okay. I look at the tips of the arrows, the arrowheads.
In what capacity? What are you trying to find out?
I want to see if they're poisoned.
All right, give me an nature check.
Otherwise, I would deduce that the arrow. That it would be really weird for an arrow gash to kill someone and hitting them in the leg.
Give me a nature check.
16.
16. You hold the arrow up to your face and you kind of give it a sniff. There's sort of a rust-smelling aroma that gives off from the tips of the arrow.
Rust. Does this? I don't know what that would be.
It smells foul. Is basically
something. Well, something on the arrow. I don't know what it is. Does not smell good. Smells like rusting metal. So, even that arrow gash could have been capable of doing something to her, to kill her. But I'm not sure what it would be. Feel as though we have a lot more information, but we're no closer to figuring out what the answer is. And I get a feeling that it was portrayed as this scene because when I learned of what happened to Liza, it made me incredibly angry and I lost my cool, and I am not proud of that. And I believe seeing it in this way is meant to challenge feelings and my anger that I have felt about with this event.
Why?
Why?
No, I said right.
Oh, sorry. So that alone makes me question if the truth that we were given is that Medici killed Anna. But all of this information suggests that there was a fight between everyone here, except no one seemed to attack Ellen's parents. That much we can discern, correct?
Yeah. Well,
fired an arrow. Sorry.
Well, knowing Ellen, it may have been that they were stealth, they were hiding.
Right. The Father Mahariel fired 2 arrows. One seems to have struck Medici and then back of the leg, and I'm guessing the arrows are the arrow in the back of his leg looked the same as the one on the quiver.
Yeah.
And the other one appears to have grazed Liza and infected her with something that I'm not quite aware of. The Mother Mahariel, I'm not sure. Did we ever learn anything? She's capable of some. We don't know what she's capable of. Right?
You don't know what she's capable of. All you know is that she's the one who did the modify memory spell.
We know she's capable of magic. We modified her own daughter's memory, so she could have been responsible for any magic burn, except for the guiding bolt. Clerics can't learn modify memory, and I don't think the cleric.
I think clerics can.
Can they?
I'll look it up. Don't worry, it's not important for this.
Okay.
Did she have magic burns on her body? Like how many? Did she
I mean, I rolled low on my medicine check. Do you want to investigate? I mean, you did investigate.
No, on Liza, I meant.
Oh, yes, she did. She had one on her shoulder.
Just
but
one,
it wasn't...
though?
Yeah. It was an arcane magic burn.
It was arcane, not eldritch, right?
Yes.
That's the same thing. Eldritch is arcane magic.
Well...
The point. I think the trick here is that it could have been her or Medici.
Mm-hmm.
Or would a burn from like an alchemical burn be different than a magic burn?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't Walden who burned that part.
You also know that Anna is a magic.
Right, Anna could have also done it. Right, that's I forgot. It could have been one of 3 people. Walden was attacked by lies. He used a vial of some kind of potion. It resembles healing at the base. But something was off. Couldn't figure out what it was. Slightly different. Maybe it was... something was added to it. Medici has an arrow in him. And he didn't have any other harmed parts of him, right? It was just the arrow?
No, correct.
So only he was attacked by Father Mahariel. And he is struggling with Jack, who fired his gun, but did not fire it into Medici. But there are wounds in Liza from both arcane and from bullets. From... Who here uses knives?
You haven't seen any knives.
She's been hurt by cuts from knives or blades, but no one here seems to have them.
At least from your rolls, you did not discover any knives.
I did not see knives. Maybe Ellen's parents have them, but we
It
did
might
not see
be
them.
under their... Well, it's cloaked figures, but unfortunately we can't really touch them.
Yeah, you can.
We've
I mean,
been
we
touching
can't-
them.
No, we couldn't, like, push the robes out of the
Yeah,
way.
you can.
We have been doing that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can
I guess
manipulate and interact with these.
I'm assuming
They're
that...
just not going to talk to you.
I mean, I guess I'll double check. I'll look under their belts or anything to see if there's any knives or any knives in their boots or anything.
Right. Okay. So you, just the 2 of them you're looking at?
Right now, I mean, we're next to
Okay.
them. The last ones we looked at.
You pull aside the female Mahariel's cloak, and you see underneath what appears to be a short sword in a hilt. You pull aside the male Mahariel's cloak, and you see a belt that is filled with daggers.
That solves that mystery. Can I remove the blades?
Yeah.
I want to check them for blood or any
Okay.
sort of...
Which, I mean, he's got about 6 daggers in his belt.
I guess I'm just checking all of them.
All right. You pull them all out one by one. There's no blood on them.
Okay, can I take the sword?
Yeah, you pull the short sword out. Also no blood.
Well, if they were used, they were clean. That would be a very strange thing to do immediately.
Yeah.
Considering how much is going on.
Guff,
What?
I feel bad. I feel like maybe you should have picked someone who was a little more puzzle-oriented to come with you.
I didn't pick you, Mido. The dice did.
Shut up.
No, it's true.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We literally rolled a dice in character because Goff didn't want to have to play favorites.
Well, the dice should have picked better. Yeah, I'm good at hitting things with my sword, but not solving a mystery.
Mido, I do not mind. I didn't know. We didn't know what would be in here. What if there was combat? Then you would have been great. And you're great now. There's no problem. We just need to examine everything we can. It's not your decision to make, it's mine. You're merely here to witness what must happen.
Right, but I'm helping you.
And you're doing
What have we not looked at yet?
I mean, we've looked at all of them. We just with some roles we might have missed some information.
Yeah.
But we don't know what information we've missed. We don't know. It's kind of just like we have to discover it.
Yeah.
What do you think would have? Do you have any like inklings or anything? Of who it might be?
Well,
what if the answer is all of them? That would be cheating, right?
well, not cheating, but a possibility, but also a risky answer if it's wrong. Or maybe it's not about being wrong, it's just about what I feel. I'm not sure what did they say I needed to be correct, or they want to see what I think?
They didn't say anything, they just said you have to uncover a mystery and explain why you think the person committed the crime.
I want to go back to Liza's body and just thoroughly look at each kind of wound. So, like, there's a burn on her shoulder.
Yes.
There's cuts on her arms. How deep are the cuts? Are they like this level, or are they pretty bad?
They've broken the skin. They're bleeding pretty profusely. But it doesn't look like a fatal wound, if that's what you're asking. I mean, it's just on her arms.
Can I do a deeper check on the liquid that was in her mouth of some kind?
Yes. Give me a nature check.
Come on. 23.
Okay. You pull some of the liquid off and you give it you rub it around in your fingers, you give it a sniff. It smells a lot like what was in Walden's vial.
Okay. This seems to be the same thing in the vial that Walden had. But it's green in color, right?
Correct.
But healing potions are normally a pink color, right?
Yeah, correct.
Wasn't the stuff that was coming out of her mouth green?
Yes. Maybe she took a healing potion that was poison, but he's holding it. His healing potions are not green. Poison often is. Wait, is poison often green in this universe?
Yes.
Okay, poison often. Is there any other potion I know of that's green?
There probably are. I don't know if
Okay, but it's probably an easy deduction to make.
Yes.
We don't know what kind. There's no way to. Can I do like an Arcana check on the wound that's Bert's magic burn?
Yes. Yep.
I'll do that. 13.
13.
I don't have any bonuses to that.
You can't really discern much more than that it is came from
Mido.
arcane magic.
Mido, do you have any experience with the arcane? More
I
than
look at
do?
him. I look at him and I squint.
You throw spells around.
Yes. I do.
I didn't know if
That's my thing.
I didn't know. Well, you also like to just swing a sword. I didn't know if you were saying that I should know that or if I should.
You
look at
should
this
know
lady.
that, but yes, okay.
I know it's been a lot. You've been away for a while. Please, just could
I'm
you tell
here,
me
okay,
if you can
yes.
learn anything about this burn?
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's do it.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
Oh my god. I rolled An 11.
No, that's not.
No, that's
Good as what I roll.
no. You look at this wound and you can
This
discern
dice
that
is busted.
you discern that it is came from arcane magic as opposed to divine magic or druidic magic, but you can't really determine the type of spell.
Well, I don't know. Shrug.
And the blades that I checked on the Maharials didn't have poison on them or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay.
It was clean.
I don't think the blades did this. Be strange. And well, I mean, they're bleeding. She's bleeding a lot, but these other things are much more lethal. Immediately, poison, potentially, bullets, some kind of cursed or poisoned, afflicted arrow. The spell could have been something, but we can't figure out the school. Can I check the leg wound?
Sure.
More specifically, do I have to roll like a different roll? Can I roll anything to check it?
What are you trying to check?
I want to see if I can tell like what the if what the foul smelling stuff was based on like what it did to the wound. Like if there's any sort of
give me a
effect
medicine.
around the wound.
Give me a medicine.
What?
check. Medicine.
Oh, for fuck's sake, 14.
You look at the wound where the arrow grazed Liza, and you do notice that where it broke the skin, the skin appears to have become black and necrotic.
Do I know of any types of like liquid or
It's probably some kind of poison. That's the best you can discern from that roll.
how close are Walden to the Maharials? Are they pretty far apart?
They're pretty far apart. They're probably like 40 feet.
Okay. This was a poisoned arrow. There's some kind of necrotic damage of that kind. Flesh destroying, life destroying. Not the same kind of poison that might have been used by Walden. Or what was in that potion. Different. So that could have been easily been it. Could have been the poison that is potentially she drank. Could have been a spell that was particularly deadly. Not sure. The blades don't ring out as a strong candidate, but she did bleed a lot. But that would be a slower death, I think. The bullets in what part of her body? Her torso, right? So what are they hitting? Which organs are they hitting?
Mostly her intestines.
Okay.
I don't know anatomy, so I couldn't really.
Lower, upper, near the heart,
Lower.
near the lungs. Okay.
Yeah, in the
So
gut.
they're in the abdomen. Okay.
Yes.
If
So
it's
she
like,
would
yeah.
be suffering for a while, but not dead from the bullets.
Right. Maybe all of these hit her around the same time, and only one of them was the true cause. The last hit, or maybe an earlier effect, took her to the end, such as a poison or bleeding.
But the poison, I mean, it depends on how fast it would go through her body, especially if she's bleeding.
Right.
Oh, God!
I don't feel any closer to an answer.
I don't either. There's too many possibilities.
Now, we have to assume this situation is very real, and all the evidence we see within all of these individuals is a strong likelihood that Walden used some kind of poison, or he's holding a vial that poisoned her. That the Maharials shot arrows and used blades that harmed her. and harmed the others. She attacked Walden. You have to believe that all of these things happen because of the other options to believe it's all a trick. But we all know it's not. We know it's just a trial. So something here has to be true. But I don't feel that anything we've discovered tells us truly a more likely candidate for killer, the killing blow. However, they all did seem to attack her, or most of them did. It is possible that maybe the answer is all of them. Or most of them.
I kind of wish I asked them the question, but I didn't know what I was getting into.
They didn't say we necessarily had to be right. They just wanted to see. They wanted us. They wanted to see what my deduction was. And I don't feel any paths towards an specific person. Obviously, I dislike Medici the most. I hate him.
Yeah, me too.
But in the story we were told, only he did this. That could... Anna, she has her motivations, and she withholds information she must withhold. But there's no way that, well, it would be unlikely for my ancestors to know more truths about this than we do, and I believe this is just an illusion pulled from what I know. And that none of this is historically connected.
Maybe it is all of them.
All of them attacked her, though. So wouldn't the answer be all of them? All of them brought harm. Or most of them. But maybe that's playing too safe. Maybe I can't pick all of them. Maybe it has to be a single person. And I really wish that I had known. Did we know? Did they tell us the premise of this before we went in?
No, they just said a crime has been committed. You have to discover who did it.
Okay.
And then explain your reasoning.
Only we had known more. We could have asked this if it had to be one or all.
Right.
So, checking something really quick. I'm gonna see if there's like an item that I that maybe could. Wait. I'm gonna try something stupid.
Okay.
It probably won't work because I don't think these
here.
aren't. Can I try using the medallion of thoughts on these people?
Sure. You can try.
I'm gonna take it and look at Medici and try and see if I can delve into his thoughts.
Okay. As you do so, you hear Medici's voice very clearly saying, "Where's the key?"
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And this is with the deep
I
dive.
must recover the key. Oh, it's the deep dive.
Yeah, because they're not real. I mean, I'm assuming that I can go as far down as I want because
yeah, you can.
Because I'm not. These aren't necessarily. I mean, they might
you do a deep dive. Okay, you're gonna do a deep dive on these thoughts. You push past the surface thoughts, which and seem to enter just a state of nothingness. As you push past the surface thoughts, you get the impression that these surface thoughts are just a reflection of what you want to hear, maybe.
Okay. Well, that didn't. I don't think it's going to work very much. Well, I'll try it. Let me one more time. Just, I'm going to use it on Walden.
Okay. You just hear Walden's voice saying, "She's dead. She's dead." Just over and over.
That won't help. It's me nothing.
So hang on. I just want to point this out. I can't hear this. This is all in his head, but I hear you saying, "That's not it."
I'm using this. I'm holding it. This medallion lets me read surface thoughts, and
So what am I thinking?
Will you let me? Do you want me to read your surface thoughts, or do you want me to read beyond that?
Man, go as deep as you want, man.
Oh, okay. It really isn't relevant, but sure, why not? I'll use the spell. I'll use the medallion on Mido.
Okay. All right. So, the way this spell works, Mido. What are Mido's initial surface thoughts? What are superficial? What's immediately on
This
her mind?
puzzle fucking sucks, is what she's thinking.
I agree.
And then as Goth begins to push further into your deeper thoughts, let me just look up the spell details on this. So as this happens, Mido, you actually start feeling this thought detection. You're aware that Goth is reading your thoughts, so the way this spell works is that the deeper thoughts, you gain insight into reasoning, emotional state, and something that looms large in the person's mind, such as a worry, a love, or a hate. So what is Mido's current emotional state, and what is present on her mind?
Mido is like really angry down there. Hate, I guess, would be it. About what's his face? Fuck.
Orn.
Oh, Orn, yeah.
Okay.
So it would. It's really
Well,
intense anger,
Can't
and
say
probably like really gruesome. This is exactly how I'm going to kill him and win, type of thing.
Well, Goff resents from that. Well, I can't say I'm surprised by anything that I've seen. I agree, though, about the puzzle.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Well,
not ready.
now you know I can do that, though I usually don't go deep.
That was
because people
weird.
know. Yes.
That was weird. Yeah. Well, I'm a pretty open person.
You see a sort of a smoke beginning to filter into the room as the smoke begins to spiral on the opposite side of the room in front of you, and after a moment you see the two figures reform.
Oh no! Do we have a time limit?
What do you ask?
Do you require more time? Know that there are other trials awaiting you. You may not wish to linger too long.
May I ask a question now?
Certainly.
Is there a right answer, or is it just what I feel?
Neither of them answer you.
I'll lean over to Goff and I whisper.
Are there consequences to certain outcomes of the trial?
Neither of them will answer you.
Hey, Goff.
Very well.
Goff.
Yes.
Hey, I'm thinking it's because they're quiet. That's a yes.
Well, maybe. And in terms of details, all the details that are found in the scene are on the individuals. There's nothing between them on the ground, right? There's no traces, things laying around. Can I look around really quick while they're here? Like, not like a...
Just go for it. Give me an investigation check.
8. I can't... If it's investigation... If it's anything that's not medicine or nature or survival, I'm gonna get bad rolls, man. I'm just telling you.
You do not notice anything on the ground that stands out.
I don't. To answer your question, I don't know. I thoroughly looked at everyone, and I don't feel closer any particular individual as the culprit. It feels like all are responsible. Hello?
I'm here.
Oh.
Where? Malk? Yeah.
What?
Oh.
I didn't know you asked me a question.
Oh, I just was responding to them because they asked if I need more time.
Oh. They again do not respond to you.
Okay, do I have a limit of time?
You do not have a limit. However, there are other trials that await you.
Can't stay here forever. That's for sure.
Well, what do you think, Mido? Should I go with my gut?
I trust you, Goth. And I think that even if we don't do the best on this trial, there's gonna be other ones too.
Very well. Alright. Can you remember their names again? I need to write it down.
Fioli and Vooney.
Laurel and Yin.
No, don't do this.
Booney.
Fioli is Fjolli, and Vooney is Vuni.
I got the second one right. The first one I did not get right. Okay. Fioli, Booney.
Have you come to a decision?
I struggle to, but yes. I believe all are responsible.
And why is that?
She has been harmed by weapons and spells and manners of destruction from that could be bore by all of them or nearly all of them. I do not find a signature mark from any individual person that could be the sole contributor. All weakened this woman. All hurt her. All brought destruction to her form.
And you do not think that anyone in particular dealt the killing blow?
I have... Is that an answer I must give?
That is entirely up to you.
I'm looking... I'm standing near Eliza. Can I do a quick look to see if any of the wounds look older than all the others, or they all look basically the same?
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
25.
Okay. The bullet wounds look fresh, as does the magic burn. The poison that's dripping down her mouth seems to have been ingested a while ago, and the necrosis that is set in on her leg from the arrow also seems like it would have taken some time.
Well, as much as I want there to be a clear answer, I cannot find one. I believe Medici landed the final blow.
What is your reasoning?
Because the magic burn and the bullets look fresh.
And why is it the magic and not the bullets that were the final blow?
Because that's what he would do. He wanted the key.
So your decision is based upon your knowledge of these people.
I couldn't find an answer. I tried to play neutral. And I tried to find evidence against it. But I've looked, and my friend has looked, and we have not found a clear answer.
So that is your final answer.
The only thing I have left to go on is what I know.
You know this man, and one of them gestures to Medici's form. You know this man and you believe that he would do this, and so you believe that he is the one who dealt the killing blow. That is your final decision.
It must be.
Very well. You have completed this trial. They motion toward the door.
Very well. Goff just wipes his side of his face. I don't feel good about that decision, Mido. Feel like I got it wrong.
I don't think even if I don't even think if you got it right, you would feel good about it. Just based on
Nothing came to me.
personally, I felt like it could have been anyone.
What?
I said personally, I felt like it could have been anyone, but
I know.
that's okay. Maybe we'll find another trial that involves more fighting. That's what I'm good
Well,
at. And I flex.
I want to be judged. Who I am truly. I feel like I already am not I guess
You
this
went
is
with
who
your
I
gut.
I guess that's what I would believe. I have no other information to go on. I cannot form ideas out of nothing.
Right.
I couldn't believe it could have been Jack. He has his own agenda, but I don't know. Let's carry on.
Okay. So as you leave the chamber and you begin proceeding down another winding corridor toward another chamber, as you get closer to this next chamber, you start hearing the clinking of glasses and laughter and cheer. And as you get around the corner, you see what's before you is a large banquet table. And there's a number of specters sitting at this table, cheering and boasting and eating joyfully.
Just
One
like Mother 3.
one at the head of the table stands out from the rest. The rest you can clearly see are Goliaths in battle armor who are warriors of days gone by, whereas the one at the very head of the table is wearing a similar robe as the other two are, with the hood pulled up. He seems to be leading this festivity. And as you enter the chamber, the two of you, he turns in your direction and he says, "Ah, good! New guests, come up, pull up and have a drink with us." And he pulls his hood down. You see before you a man with an unruly long hair and a tremendous beard flowing down to the center of his chest with a number of braids within them. He looks like a larger Goliath than you're used to seeing, not in terms of height, but in terms of just a kind of his girth. He's muscular, but he's also very rotund. He's a big guy. And he ushers toward you. Come!
He doesn't look familiar to me, does he?
No.
The description sounded a lot like Goff, so I was like, this is Goff? Like a different
No.
version of... Okay,
No.
it's not. Okay.
It's evil Goth.
It sounded a lot like Goff until you described the big belly. But before that, it was like the hair that messy hair, braids, it all sounded like him. Okay. Very well.
Cat got your tongue, friend. Come, sit.
What is your name?
Vagath Cragbreaker.
Vagath?
Vagath.
Ooh.
Yes. Known as Vagath the True-Hearted, who would give his own life for his comrades.
Vagath the True-Hearted? Okay.
Yes.
I've not heard of this guy before.
No.
Good to meet you, Vagath. Oh, a noble title.
I would think so.
Are we feasting? I say.
If you wish. And
Hell
he
yeah.
gestures toward the food before you.
I absolutely take a seat. I grab a chair, just slide right in there.
Okay.
Looking around, is there anything else in this vision besides the table? Is there anything else going off to the side, or is it just...
It's just a large tomb with a bunch of, caskets essentially around the
No,
edge.
not that. I mean, I just mean in this particular trial with this vision that I'm seeing, the illusion. It's just these people.
This isn't
table.
an illusion. This is like more specters essentially.
Oh, okay. But in terms of the specter activity, that's all it's going.
Yes. There's
Okay.
a bunch of ghosts sitting at a table having a good time.
Just like Mother 3. Remember that part?
Yes, I do. I was thinking about it too. Well, I suppose. Eileen, what do you think this is? Or do you think we're supposed to sit down?
I mean, what else are we supposed to do? I've already taken a seat, by the way.
I don't know. Let us hear what they must say.
As you sit down, Mito, you see Vagath. He pulls out a big flagon and just shoves it down the table toward you. And as it gets near you, it's strange. Like at first, it's spectral and it looks translucent, but as it gets near you, it sort of takes solid form.
Oh, fuck yeah, it's real. You said it was alcohol?
Yeah, it's mead.
Hell yeah! So I can grab it? Whoa.
Yeah, that was Mel.
Wait. I want to take a look at it. Can I do like a nature or medicine just to see?
Yeah, you
if
can do a
it's-
nature check.
Just to take a look at it, see if it's.
Okay, I'm at 1%, but I'm plugged in, so I'm hoping I don't die.
Okay. 16.
It looks perfectly fine.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just let her continue to pick it up.
Now
you
drink it.
All right,
Chug,
you
chug,
throw back
chug.
this flagon of mead, and it is the sweetest fermented honey you have ever tasted. It is
Holy
just
shit.
Okay, so he passes it down. Then what's he do?
he looks toward you. Ah, child of the Isles. So you've come to test me trial.
I suppose yes.
Very well. My trial is the trial of loyalty. What would you do if you're faced with an impossible situation? Are you practical? Are you righteous? Do you give in to despair? The next trial will test that. Or it'll test who you value most. Because sometimes you can't save everyone. If you're ready, you may step into the next chamber. Otherwise, if you have questions, then feel free to ask.
Where'd you get this meat?
Summoned from the halls of our ancestors, lass.
It's probably the best meat I've ever had in my
Aye.
entire life.
We know how to brew it here on the Isles.
Vagath,
Yes.
I assume there is no right or wrong answer. It is only the answer I choose.
That is always the case with these trials. As a judge of your character.
What was it? I lost my train of thought. Are there static options? Or can I get creative?
That is entirely up to you.
Very well. I would take your trial, the true heart.
Yeah, Goff's super creative, I say, and
Wonderful.
I slam down the
He
meat.
claps his hands. Wonderful, wonderful. Head into the next chamber.
I get up and do so.
Okay. So Mito and Goff, you head in out of this chamber and down a corridor into what appears to be a next room. As you step out into this room, you see a very high-ceilinged room. It appears almost to be a grotto of sorts, with a massive, gnarled tree in the center of the room. And you see, as you're entering, a number of ropes hanging from this tree, and many of them seem to have humanoid-sized forms hanging from them. And as you step closer into the room, you realize that these forms are people, and they are hanging from nooses, and they are struggling. Their hands tied behind their back, and they are struggling as they are being slowly hanged to death. And you see their faces. They
God.
are Hiraith,
Oh
Sister.
no!
Ellen, Roscoe, Verna. You also notice two other figures. You see Coria, and you see Emmeline. And they are all struggling to breathe, their faces going purple and blue as they are slowly hanging to death. What do you do?
Is
Is there a time limit to this trial?
I run immediately.
There is no
behind.
response, but you see them getting more and more purple.
I run immediately to Emily.
You do notice there are also a number of nooses around that are empty. There's nobody, but they just are still hanging from the tree, but there's nobody in them.
And so everyone in the party and Emmeline and what was her
Coria.
name?
Coria. Coria. Yeah.
Who is Corey?
Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to. God, I wish I knew more about what's going on before I go in, because I don't know how to. Now I need to know how many people can I actually attempt to save? I don't.
All he said was that sometimes you cannot save everyone.
Okay.
That's all he said.
Right, I know, but how many can I? What's the limit? It's what I'm trying to
I can't tell you, man. You gotta ask.
Okay,
more
so
questions.
we're time stopping for this decision.
Yes, this is bullet time. Yeah,
okay.
Basically.
Do I know how long it takes for a noose to choke somebody?
They all look like they are about to die. Every single
how many
one.
seconds?
Probably within the next 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Okay. Based on my knowledge of medicine and
yes.
Okay.
Wait, about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is all like an illusion, obviously, right?
It's a test of character.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my god. This is a really hard decision. Because I'm trying to think about all the character growth that Mido's gone through. All the not character growth she's gone through.
Also keep in mind that this is a trial that the outcome I think only really affects Goff, and you're just helping him. So that's something to keep in mind. But you should also do what Mido would do.
I know, I'm just...
Goff, I'd say...
Oh.
Actually, no. You didn't ask any other stuff from him.
I don't know what to ask, man. I don't have any context.
I know.
I wouldn't know what to ask.
I mean, okay, that's fine.
And now I can't ask questions because now I'm running out of time. I can't put a pause on it, so...
We could retcon. We could go
if
back.
you wanted me to ask something that was going to help me, I'm sorry. I didn't have any. I didn't know. I didn't think of any. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can I, can I cut the rope that Emily's on? My sword.
If you've already run up to her, yes, you may
yes.
try.
How high up is it?
They're fairly high up off the ground, probably about 15 feet.
Okay. Well, the problem that I have is I don't have anything that's bladed.
Can I shoot? Oh, okay.
Or
if
sharp.
If they're high off the ground,
No, but you have spells.
Can I shoot a firebolt at the noose? The rope?
Yes, you may.
Okay. So how far apart is everyone in terms of horizontal distance?
Horizontal distance, probably, if you were to get kind of more central, you could probably be about 40 feet from most of them. With the
do I have to cast
with the exception of Coria, who is at the far end.
That's a cast firebolt.
Yes, you have to make an attack roll.
Wait a minute, where's roll 20? Oh.
Unfortunately, that goes right past the rope. The rope is a very small target.
Shit!
So you've already used 6 seconds from Mido's perspective. Goff, what do you wish to do?
She has action surge.
That is true, you have action surge.
I'm gonna use action surge.
Okay.
Fuck, and I can't reach it, right? Like it's high off the ground.
Yeah, you can't reach it with a melee attack.
Shit. Okay, I'll try firebolt again.
Yeah, that definitely hits this time. Your fireball careens through the air and makes direct contact with the rope holding Emmeline up, burns straight through, and Emmeline's body just comes clattering to the ground at your feet.
Okay. Can I catch her? Can I try and catch her?
You can try to catch her. So as you dive in the way and catch her in time, and as you do so, she's coughing and sputtering. Goff, what are you doing?
I just don't know what I can do that can cut a rope. That's the problem. My weapon's blunt. My spiritual weapons maybe can do it.
Spiritual weapon can do anything. Spells can do anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm just okay.
This is a test, man. It's all a matter of just testing your decision-making process under fire.
Well, the problem, I'm trying to be in Goff's head, and in Goff's head, I don't.
Again, we're in bullet time pause. If you need to think it through, I'll allow you to do that.
Goff is a very him before others person when it comes to taking a hit. So in this situation, he can't do that, and that's why I'm struggling. Because normally I was thinking, okay, if I go in this and there's people that are in danger, I'm going to get in the way and protect them with myself, and I can't do that here. So I'm trying to figure out what he would do.
I want you.
Like that's his. That's like it's.
I want you to give me an insight check as you look over the scene.
Okay. Insight. 18.
Okay. As you're looking over the scene, you're thinking back to Vigath's words. Are you practical? Do you give in to despair? Sometimes you cannot save everyone. Do you value certain other people over others? You also look at what's before you. You see that some of the hanging nooses that don't have any bodies in them, and you follow them up, and you see in the branches of the tree that all of these nooses seem to be interconnected, as if there's forming some sort of counterweight system.
Can I tell where the...
You get the sense that if enough weight is placed on one of the empty nooses, that it might cause some of the ropes up top to give way and release some people.
Okay, but the nooses are up high and I can't reach them, right? Even though I'm tall?
Some of them are closer to the ground.
How close are they? Well, how high up are they?
Probably about 12 or 10 feet up.
Oh, well then I can reach it.
Yes. You can reach some of them.
I'm gonna try and reach for one that I know is high enough that my feet won't be touching the ground. I'm gonna grab it with my hand. As I'm doing this, I'm saying, Mido, whatever you see, let it happen.
What?
And I'm gonna pull myself into the noose and try and put my weight on it.
Okay. So you pull the noose around your own neck.
Before I even put, as I'm pulling up, I want to see if my weight does anything before I put my head in it.
You see some of the other ropes that are holding other people seem to react and slacken a little bit as you begin putting your weight on that.
Okay, but if I start to put my head through the hole, does it slacken more?
Yeah.
Somehow through some sort of weird magic.
Yes.
Okay.
You get the sense that this isn't typical physics. This is
destiny physics, not the game. Like the concept.
Yes.
Like, this is fate. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna put it around my head, and with my fingers holding it. It's like to put between my neck and the rope first before I eventually. And as I do that, I'm gonna take one more look over at the nooses on the other people and see if it's affecting it more.
Have you rested your full weight on the noose? Are you letting go, or
the full weight on my head and neck?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, not yet. The fingers are in the way. I'm seeing if it's still moving. If it's still moving towards.
Yes.
Okay, then I. And I close my eyes and I just pull my hands out.
Okay. As you drop and let go, the noose tightens around your neck. Your neck muscles struggle for a moment as you try to fight against it. Mido, you look over as you see Goff begin to hang himself. His face begins to turn red and then blue. But you notice as well that all the other people who are hanging, their nooses are lowering to the ground very steadily. And after maybe another 5 seconds, they all suddenly go slack and every single one of them hits the ground. And now Goff is the only one up. He is maybe 15 feet. The noose where his head is 15 feet from the ground. He's probably like 5 feet off the ground at this point, as the counterweight has shifted, and you see him there struggling. Goff, you are choking to death. I would say you suffer. I'm going to say 20 points of
Brent's
necrotic
asleep.
damage.
Brent's asleep.
What?
Sorry.
Okay.
Mito, what are you doing?
Yeah. So-
Goth is hanging himself right now. That's what's
Yes.
happening.
Yes.
I look down at Emmeline.
Emmeline's no longer in your hands. Her body appears to have disappeared. It is an illusion after all.
I sigh and I. Goth, well, you can't do that. What?
As you're talking, Goff is continuing to struggle. Goff, you are going to take another... Unless you wish to do anything else, Goff, now that this trial seems to have resolved itself.
Does it seem that way to me?
I mean, the bodies have all fallen down.
I mean, I guess
Can I?
if I'm allowed to do something, I was only the person that had to commit to this decision completely.
It's up to you. What do you want to do? Do you want to just wait it out or see if Mito does something?
I mean, I was gonna try and shoot a firebolt
Okay,
at the
shoot
rope.
shoot a firebolt. If that is what you wish to do.
Please, for the love of God, please. Hit!
No.
Okay. Mito, you throw your hand out and another firebolt flies through the air. This time cutting the rope that is hanging Goff. And Goff, with a clatter, you tumble to the ground, gasping for air.
Can I try and catch Goff?
You're probably too far away
Okay.
to get there in time.
I mean, I wasn't that high off the ground.
Okay.
Goff, you're coughing and sputtering as you're regaining your breath. You look around and you see the bodies of your comrades, one by one, seem to just kind of fade away, as they are illusions.
Thank you, Mito.
I didn't do that too soon, did I?
Mel,
I don't
you might
know.
wanna mute.
Yes, please, Mel.
Sorry.
I don't know what would have happened if I stayed. I was committing. But there seem to be no rules, because whenever I ask, they do not answer. So... Bagath.
With a swirl of white light, you see Vigath's form appear before you. He is holding 2 flagons in his hand.
Is one of those for me?
Aye, alas, you've done splendidly.
We both have done as we would do. May we be judged correctly.
You have passed this trial. You may proceed on.
I just bow my head a little bit.
You have one more before the judgment.
Very well.
You circle around the tree, moving out of the grotto into the hallway and further on into the crypt. After another series of winding corridors, you make your way into one large chamber where you see a single hooded figure standing there waiting for you, spectral, cloaked in white light. He removes his hood as you approach, and you see an older man. He's hunched over. His face is wrinkled with age. He bears a short beard that is simply a short goatee, essentially. His hair is tied back in a ponytail. You notice a warm smile on his face as you approach. He says, "Fellow brother, I see by your shield." He motions toward your shield, and he pulls one of the sleeves of his robe back, and you see a tattoo bearing Eldath's symbol.
You bear a mark.
Aye. Did you think you were the only Cragbreaker who heard the golden voice of the goddess?
Couldn't have known any differently. What is your name?
Eglig Cragbreaker.
What was the name?
Eglig.
How's that spelled?
Eglig.
Okay.
Known as Eglig the Devout.
It is an honor to meet another. I wish I had known. Maybe things would have been different.
There was a time upon these isles when many people worshipped many different deities. I was one of them. One of Eldath's champions. But I ultimately had to... I heard her calling and to save the people of these isles, as I suspect you have.
What happened?
There was a time when a terrible chief of the Cragbreaker clans, Rogun Cragbreaker, he sought territory and power and would do anything to obtain it, and after a great hunt he planned a banquet for the clan's elders. But he planned to poison the feast and blame it on Clan Talengard. I uncovered the plot. But you see, Rogun was my brother, and it was my word against his. I slew him for the greater good. But my actions, the unlawful killings, were punishable by death. And I was only exonerated after my execution. And so for that I was laid to rest here in the tombs of our ancestors. A reminder that there is honor even among those who do not worship Umberly. My trial is a trial of sacrifice. Should you have any questions, you may ask. But know that my trial involves, much like the previous trial, an impossible decision. Or perhaps not. It is up to your resourcefulness.
Well, I respect what you did in your past. As I too have brothers I do not agree with. And I am sorry for what happened. But I believe I know at this point, these trials do not have a right or wrong answer. And I just must do what I would do if the situation were to really happen.
He nods.
Is there a time limit on this? The last one I didn't ask, and
Yes,
I
there is. This
okay.
one, there is a time limit.
Can I ask how long the time limit is?
Should those that you see fail or be killed, then clearly the time has expired.
I'm sorry, I had to cut out. What'd you say? Clearly what?
The time has expired.
I figure as much. Very well. I do not know what I could ask. You can only, after all, in the world beyond, the world above, the world of the living, do not get to ask questions most of the time. So I must handle it as I would then.
Sometimes we don't always get to make choices that allow us to enter things on our own terms.
Correct.
But you are a fellow follower, a fellow follower of the goddess of peace, and I know that you will do splendidly.
Thank you.
The next room is your trial.
I look at Mido. Hey, how's Mido looking?
Mido
Lauren?
spaced out really bad.
She's what?
Mido, aka Lauren, spaced out really bad for the last few minutes here.
Oh, that's fine. Does she look like she's ready to handle a trial?
Oh fuck yeah, always. Also, I'm assuming she got the mead from.
Yes.
Yes, she's finishing that right now.
Yep. You've just been drinking and walking.
Yeah, well, this is
Mido.
mostly, or this stuff here is mostly golf stuff, so.
Okay.
Mido, just remember, whatever
Yes.
happens in there is judged upon me. So do not do your best. Just remember. Just do not feel like responsibility lies on.
I nod at him. And also I finish my mead. Just kind of throw it. I throw the flagon on the ground.
Okay.
Eglig, we are as ready as we can be. And
Very well. Pass into the
my
final.
respect to a follower of the Golden Goddess.
May you walk in her light.
Same to you.
He gestures toward the waiting passageway.
I go in.
All right. Two of you move onward down the corridor, and as you get closer to the other room, you hear the sound of fire, and it seems to be intense heat. As you step out into the next room, you're startled to discover that it doesn't appear to be within a tomb any longer. You are outdoors. You are in a familiar place, in fact. You are standing in Storm Oak Plaza in Arcadia. And Arcadia is burning. You look up at the sky where the ashes and embers float away. You see a tremendous, terrible, pale moon with a face hanging in the sky. You look at once, and there is the sound of battle all around. Look toward the Chancellor's headquarters in the distance, and you see a number of figures, what appear to be Anna and Dr. Walden and Jack, fighting off that void matter dragon that you encountered. They seem to be protecting Moira and Ellen's children, as well as a number of other of the civilians from your stronghold. Behind you, toward the steps of the Parliament building, you see the Blue Hearts, the others that are not with you, facing off against the towering demon. Its body slick with a black ooze, its head like a gaping mouth. Many of them are either unconscious or wounded, and the demon appears to be ready for the final blow. What do you do?
And the group of Anna and those over there, they don't look as bad?
They are fending off a void matter dragon who appears to be ready to launch a blast of its terrible breath at them.
But they're all up. But
They're all up, but most of them are not fighters.
well, you're fucking me up with this decision, man.
Yeah.
How far away is each group?
They're probably You're standing right now at the center of Stormwalk Plaza. Each of them is probably a good 100 feet from you.
They're 100 feet away. How can I get to any of them in a reasonable amount of time? If you said that the dragon's raising into like attack, and the demon's about to like kill a bunch of my friends, it seems like I can't get to anyone. 100 feet is a really long way. It'd take me like 3 rounds of combat to get that close.
That's what it is.
Okay. Well, it seems kind of fruitless, but Goff takes in what he sees, and he just says, "I know it's not real, but forgive me." And he runs towards the blue hearts.
Okay.
And she starts shouting towards the demon.
Mido, what are you doing?
Where's the demon?
Near the Parliament building. Where Goff is currently running. In the other direction you see...
I'm following Goff.
Okay. Alright. You begin running. You see this creature stalking toward Hiraeth, who is kneeling on the ground. It picks her up and with a heavy hand just slams her into the ground like a rag doll. She's very hurt, but she seems to be still standing. You see Ellen and Sissel are both on their side. Roscoe is beaten and bloodied, but he is currently clinging to this thing's back, trying to bite into it. You see Hiraeth summon a number of her spectral allies attempting to ward this thing off as you finally get within range. As you're getting within range, you hear a terrible scream from across the plaza behind you as a dragon roars, and then there's silence. But you are now within range of the blue hearts. What do you do?
Oh god.
So, are some of them unconscious already?
Yes.
How far away is everyone from me?
I'd say you're within range to reach all of them at this point.
Okay.
You said Hiraeth was kneeling on the ground?
She's just been tossed like a rag doll by this creature. She just picked her up and threw her on the ground, basically.
Is she still conscious?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna run in front of her and pull my shield out.
Okay, so you pull your shield out.
I'm gonna use mass cure wounds on everyone.
Okay, so you run in, you throw mass cure wounds. You see Sissel and Ellen immediately come to their senses and pull themselves back up off the ground. Roscoe seems emboldened, and you see him leap off this creature's back and begin pummeling it as he sort of mid-leap. Hiraeth, renewed, stands to her feet once more and pulls her warhammer out. This creature reaches down with another claw toward her, but Mido, you deflect it with your shield. At that moment, all of the blue hearts stand together, and they at once rush in to attack this creature.
Yeah!
And as they do so, and as they launch themselves at it, the illusion fades around you. And you see, standing in the center of a chamber now, you see Eglig. He is just surveying you.
Goff is on his knees.
Oh.
I walk up to Goff and kneel next to him. Put a shoulder, or put a shoulder on his hand. Put a hand on his shoulder.
You have completed this trial.
Very well.
All that is left is to be judged. Step through.
Thank you, Eglig.
He motions toward the door.
Goff lifts his mask up for a second to wipe his eyes and moves on.
Aww.
All right. As you make your way through the winding corridors into the final room, you come out into a room that is different from the others. There's a number of staircases that seem to lead up to other sepulchres on higher levels. But you notice in the center of this room is what looks to be a swirling thundercloud. Just a mass of black fog, like a rain cloud essentially, and it seems to be roiling and turbulent, swirling as you approach. And as you approach, you hear a voice speak out through it. And every time it speaks, the interior of the cloud seems to alight with lightning. And you hear a wicked voice speak to you. Ah, child of the Isles. Or one who would pretend to be. Tell me, Mainlander, why do you think you can protect my children? Make a religion check.
Uh, 14.
14. You realize that what's before you doesn't seem to be long in this tomb. It is not a spirit of your ancestors. But it does seem to be an incarnation or a representation, or perhaps just an embodiment of the bitch queen herself.
What was the question she asked? Last said?
She said, why do you think you can protect my children?
Umberly.
Yes.
I may not share some of the tradition and the faith of the people of these islands. But they must be saved. And many of them did no harm to me, though some did, very few, and even they must be saved, because nobody deserves this. No one like these people. And I do not know what for sure that I can save them, but I know for the sake of them, your children, these islands, or this realm, I must. I have no other choice.
The Goliaths of these isles are a strong people and they can protect themselves. I know your true purpose here. You seek to spread her teachings.
Do you really know that? Have you been listening?
I am all around.
Have you been witness to our conversations?
I
With
know
one another,
everything of
your
these
people.
isles, and I know that she is not to be trusted.
Eldath has nothing to do with anything that's gone on here, and if you knew that...
But she brings one of her champions.
Goth came here on his own.
Eldath did not tell me to come here.
But she spoke to you nonetheless.
Yes, and you know what she told me? Did you hear what she said? She told me to save my brothers, your children. That's it. Do you want your children to be saved?
Perhaps then one final trial is in order. One not of your ancestors. My trial will be the trial of determination. And you must battle my chosen champion.
You do this to everyone who comes through here.
No,
Why do you do this to me?
because circumstances desire it. you agree to these terms?
What are the requirements for completion?
Simply that you best my champion in combat.
Do I fight him alone or with my companion?
Well, you will be fighting with your companion.
Did you say will or won't?
You will be fighting with your companion.
Will your champion also have a companion?
No.
Is your champion a creation of an illusion, or is he flesh and
It is
blood?
very real.
Your champion stands within this tomb, waiting
Yes.
to challenge.
Yes.
What is your champion's name?
Wouldn't you like to know?
That is why I asked the question.
There will be no further answers.
What? Fuck this guy.
Do you agree?
What happens if I don't?
Then by the pact of your ancestors, you will not receive your name.
Very well, I will take on your challenge.
Hey,
Your perspective, as you've presented it to me, is misinformed. The sooner I can get rid of the object that curses and sickens your people and damages your land, the sooner that we can obtain it and remove it from this land, the sooner we will be gone, and my presence here will be no more of your
Enough!
concern. I will take your
Trial
challenge.
commence. Words are at an end.
yeah,
And with
what?
that, you see the smoke begin to swirl and swirl chaotically. And then it rushes toward you. And Goff, it doesn't rush toward you, it rushes towards Mido. And you watch as the smoke begins to filter into her mouth and nostrils.
Oh fuck!
Uh,
Oh no! Oh no!
And after a moment, the smoke is gone as it filters all the way into her, and after her eyes are
Stranger
closed.
Things shit.
And she looks towards you and opens her eyes, and they are pitch black. And you see her pull her rapier out.
I knew it! I
This is
knew
so
it! Because
fucking-
you said you were gonna
And I
fight
need
with your
you to roll
companion!
initiative.
Oh my god!
This is some fucking Starlight Archive shit.
I knew it, because Falk said you're gonna fight with your companion. I fucking called it!
Oh my god.
I was like, no, he wouldn't do that. Fuck Falk, man! Do I have to roll, or is this...
No, I'm taking control of your character for
Okay,
this.
okay, well, it's a good thing I used action surge earlier.
Yep, probably good.
Also, I think I have all my spell slots. I don't know if I changed that.
You do have all your spell slots. The only thing you've used is your action surge, which
Fucking-
fucking sucks, by the way.
Fucking Odium's champion shit.
Oh, that didn't work for some reason, but no, it put you on there. Okay. All right. So, Goth, as you see your companion now with terrible blackened eyes turn to face you, her weapon drawn, you immediately spring into action. What do you do?
A cruel trick. Bitch queen. That's what they call her.
I know.
Oh, this is
Mido.
so fucking good. This is so fucking good.
Mido.
I don't think I can answer, right?
No. You are totally possessed by whatever this is.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
Oh wait, you know what? Cure Wounds on myself at... How much HP am I missing? Second level, so that's 2d8 plus 4, I think. Okay, 12.
Now Falk gets to play as my
I'm
overpowered
not done yet.
character.
Yeah, that's your action.
So I freshen myself up a bit, and so can I discern anything about the smoke in Mido?
It's not. You don't see the smoke anymore. You just see her black
So
eyes.
can I discern anything like? So I know if this is like a curse, or can I discern anything with a roll?
It's. You could make a religion check.
18.
It seems that she's been possessed by an avatar of a deity, and you're gonna have to beat it out of her.
Yeah, that's the way she would have wanted it.
Mido, I'm so sorry. And I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon behind her.
Okay. Gotta pull that spiritual weapon out.
This is gonna be really. Mido's probably gonna beat me with that high AC and that fucking sword.
You have a lot of healing capability, man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I think you could just outlast it.
Maybe we'll see.
Would represent. Oh, controlled by Tom. Okay, you have control over it now.
I need to. That was the damage roll. I need to roll the actual attack.
Yeah, you have to roll the attack.
Because I know it's one less than my weapon, so it's. Okay.
So. Plus 8, right? Put in that 20.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that is.
So that means I roll 2d8 plus.
Yes, plus your ability modifier. I think, right? Do you add your ability modifier? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so that's counting math. 16 points of force damage.
16, goodness. Okay.
So strike her in the back.
Alright.
Mido's only way to deal with this that I know of. I'm sorry.
Alright.
And I
With
just
that,
get my shield up. I know it doesn't mean
Right.
anything. I just really play.
with that, you see her take a step to the left as she seems to be sizing you up, and then she rushes forward with her flaming rapier, and she is going to make 2 strikes at you. That is a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
And that is a 26 to hit. So those both hit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's going to be 22 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And an additional. Wow. Okay, that sucked. Actually, yeah. 9 points of fire damage.
I'm gonna use dampen elements on that, so it's only
Okay, so
5
4
or
points.
4.
So she rushes forward and she's just in your face now. And actually, yep. Okay, so she uses the. Lauren, you have that Eldritch Strike ability, right? That a weapon attack makes the next spell save disadvantage. I think that's what you get at level 10. Okay, that's it.
Yes.
So that's Goth, it's your turn.
Yes, it is. You're right.
She is right in your face. What do you do?
Uh,
Oh my god.
I gotta think about my
Sorry.
options. I have to look at everything and. I did determine from my religion check that something like a remove curse wouldn't mean anything in this situation, right?
It wouldn't do a thing. It's far too. This is a god you're talking about. It's far too powerful.
Right. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm just checking. I'm just double checking all my options. I want to do this as much in the future. I'm just.
Yep.
Seeing what I mean, I don't. I'm pretty much just the heal or hit guy. I don't have a lot of other things I do. Wait a minute. I have a thought. What?
Here comes a thought.
Here comes a thought. Okay. If I pulled Mido away from me.
What do you
that
mean?
If I pulled Mido away from me with a grasping vine, would I get an opportunity attack?
Yes.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god,
try
that's
it.
so fucking smart.
I'm gonna try doing that. No, actually, I'm gonna hit her then do that because the vine is a bonus act. So I'm gonna try and swing at her first.
Some fucking
That is
power
some gaming the
now.
shit. That's gaming the system.
Okay, so I rolled a bet enough. I rolled 17 plus 9. So,
Yep, that hits. Mido.
So,
are you gonna charge
I'm
it
a-
with some?
I'm gonna charge it with I mean, it doesn't really matter. Mine doesn't have any resistances that I'm aware of. And I'll just to be stupid in this moment. What do they call it? Fire with fire. And I'm going to I'm going to strike the hammer off of the ground and hit her with a hammer. The fire hit. Fire.
Okay.
Inspected.
Roll your damage.
It's just a D8 plus. Okay, that plus my weapon attack damage is 5. Okay, so 10 damage, 10 bludgeoning,
Okay.
and then 5 fire.
5 fire. Okay. So that's your action.
And then I'm gonna try and use the grasping vine. I'm gonna put it like here-ish, and then pull her away from me.
Okay.
I guess as far as it'll pull it, I think it can move her. Let me check. I think it can move her like 20 feet or something.
So that's a saving throw, correct?
Yeah, I can. It's pulled directly 20 feet directly toward the vine. I can put it at 30 feet away from me. So I'm gonna
Yes.
put it.
So that's
like,
going to be a dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
Okay. What's the DC?
16.
16. Okay. That is an 11. I don't think Mido has a modifier. Nope. So
To
that's
what?
your dex
No.
save. Okay. So that
I
is a
wanna-
fail.
So I'm gonna pull her to like here-ish.
Okay.
And the vine's
So
like-
here's what happens. So you slam your warhammer on the ground, igniting it with fire, and you just crack it into the side of Mido, finding a gap between her shield. At the same time, you throw your other hand out, it glowing with the Eldeath's runes. As even in this dank crypt, you manage to catch onto a glimmer of plant life that has been growing between the tiles, and a vine springs to life and wraps itself around Mido's torso and pulls her away as you go in for another strike.
Same as the first time. Fire, if it hits.
Fire. Okay.
Yes, that was one higher than the last one's. 18
Okay.
plus 9.
So roll your damage.
Oh my god. 12 bludgeoning
Holy
and
shit.
4 fire.
4 fire. Okay. Anything else you're doing?
I'm gonna yell, Mido, snap out of it! Fight her off, because I think you'd be enjoying this a lot more if you were here.
She really would.
So she should be. I mean, it probably doesn't matter, but she should be up higher on the board.
Oh, is she?
It's
Okay.
pulled 20 feet toward the vine,
20.
so like, but I bet she can probably move right back. I mean, just saying.
Right. Is it holding on to her the whole time?
I think it just pulls her. Let me check.
Until the spell ends, you can direct the find to lash out at the same creature or another one as a bonus.
But it doesn't hold them. It doesn't grapple them. I don't think.
Okay. So
Yeah,
here's
she
what I'm
can-
going to say happens. So Mido stands there. Her body begins to give off sort of a wafting of smoke as she is going to use her second wind.
Oh no! No!
So that's going to be 14 health regained. I accidentally typed 145. And you see her put her rapier down to the side and hold out her. She kind of shifts the rapier into the hand with the shield to get a free hand, and she throws her hand out, and she's going to cast Scorching Ray at 2nd level. So
Oh,
4
shit.
rays of fire fly out toward you. I believe if they hit, they also get your modifier bonus because of Emmeline's bracelet. Okay, so 4 rays. Each have to do an attack roll. Your modifier is like a +7, right?
To
For
what
spell attacks.
Hold on 1 second.
I think it is.
Do you want me to just roll Scorching Ray for you?
If you want to roll it 4 times, four
Yeah, I'll do
rays. I don't think any of those hit. Well, one of them hits. You can re-roll the ones on that, right? So that's
Yeah.
re-roll a 1d6. Damn, that sucks.
Well,
Okay, so that's going to be 9 points of fire damage to you, Goth.
okay, 9 points fire. 1 second.
And
trying
she
to make sure I deduct my spell points for her.
once more gets up into your face. I wish I had an action surge at this point, but okay.
It was 9 points.
Yes. So you dampening.
I'm gonna dampen it forward.
All right. Okay. That
69.
brings us back to God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have a vine out. You have your spiritual weapon out.
Yeah. Oh, I need to
Actually, the
roll
vine, is concentration. So
It's a
DC
10.
Yeah.
Net 20. So
Yes,
great.
you're fine.
I guess I'm just gonna do the same thing I did last time. That seemed to work pretty well.
Pull her away again, or after.
Yeah,
you do
try to get
attack?
extra attacks off on it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could just use the shield too, but the shield's a little bit less effective than my hammer. So I'm gonna try it again, trying to keep her. I mean, fruitlessly, but
Okay. So.
that I'm pretty sure that hits because it's 14 plus 9.
Yep.
So this is just my basic hammer. This is my hammer attack.
Actually, she's going to use her reaction. You see a sandstorm begin to swirl around her. I need you to make the reroll that attack because it's disadvantage on all your attacks now.
Sorry, it's all
What's her DC? Or what's her AC?
20.
I rolled 11 plus 9, so that means
So it just hits.
So I did. Okay, cool.
So,
okay, so I still hit.
yes.
Okay. So that was an 8. So the damage roll that I did. So that is 13
13
plus
Holy.
5 fire.
5 fire. Okay, you're just steadily chipping away as you throw up your hands as a sandstorm begins to swirl around you. You nonetheless drive your warhammer forward and find purchase. You still have your bonus.
Yeah, I'm gonna try have you roll a dex save again. See if I can do the vine thing again, just because it worked.
That is a natural 16. So
okay. Probably gonna stop doing the vine thing after this.
Don't do it.
Okay, so that's your turn then, right?
Yep, that's it. I can't do anything else.
Okay. She's gonna make 2 more strikes at you with her rapier. That is a 23 to hit.
Yes.
And the second one probably doesn't hit you because I think it's a 12. Yep.
Correct. Does not hit.
So one of those hits you.
Yeah.
As she charges forward and finds a weak point in your armor, she lunges forward with her rapier, doing 10 points of piercing damage and an additional... Wow, this fucking dice, I keep rolling ones on it. 2 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And then she goes in for a second strike, but you see it and you manage to blunt her on your shield. And then it's your turn.
Mido's not going to be happy about this. I'm gonna... What's the roll on that? What does it require? It is... Oh, that's... No, con save. Mido's probably really good at that. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, knowing your enemy really helps in this situation, I guess.
I mean, Mido's really...
You've seen
beefy.
enough of Mido to know that she's pretty hardy.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm figuring it out. If I make a ranged spell attack which uses melee range, do I get isn't there like a disadvantage or
Yes,
something?
that's a disadvantage.
Okay, so I can't use Guiding Bolt, otherwise it'll suck. Okay. Alright, I mean, it's not flashy, I'm sorry guys, I don't have a lot of cool shit like Harate does. I'm just gonna keep hitting Mido with my hammer. Okay? Like, I don't really have a lot of other stuff I can
Roll
do.
an attack.
Everything's built to support everybody else.
That's
Roll
okay.
your
Not
attack.
everybody can be like me.
Roll your attack.
You or Sissel. Barely made it again, 20 total.
Okay. Yep, 20 total. All right. Yeah,
it's
she,
11.
the sand at this point has fallen at her feet in a ring.
Oh, did I knock out the concentration or something?
No. It only lasts for 1 turn.
Oh. How often can she use that?
Once a day.
Oh, for only 1 round? Alright.
It's the power
Well, it
of
would matter.
my
It would
love.
matter more if there were multiple enemies.
Oh, could it hit multiple things?
Well, no. The way it works is that it creates a sandstorm that makes anybody who's attacking that target for one full round have disadvantage.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know how that worked. Okay. So not as good in the 1v1.
No. It's yeah, it didn't really work out too well.
Okay, that's a 12 bludgeoning.
Yep.
And 4 fire.
4 fire.
And
Okay,
I'm gonna wait, I just recently took damage, so I need to roll con again, don't I? Concentration?
Yes. DC 10.
I hit 10. Does that mean I do it?
Yep.
I succeed? Okay.
Actually, let me think. Yep, 10. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay. And then I'm gonna hold concentration, but I'm gonna actually use my shield this time. So I'm gonna move it towards her. I'm gonna try and have it bounce off her back.
Okay. Roll an attack.
It hit. It's an 18 plus whatever.
Okay.
I'm
so you summon your shield to you as it careens through the air and slams into the side of Mido's head.
her head. I said her back, but okay.
Or okay, in her back. So it.
I don't want to enter in that. I mean,
it kind of smashes into the back of her chain armor.
Yeah.
I'm
trying not to like destroy her head.
As you're the more and more you're attacking her, you see more and more of the smoke wafting off her body.
Okay. That's a 6 force. No, wait. It's plus my modifier, so
Your
10
modifier.
force.
So 10 force.
Yes.
Okay. So and that's your turn.
Correct.
Okay. At this point, I mean, trying to see if there's any other tricks up Mido's sleeve.
Are those ghosts up there like watching
those
us?
they're watching you.
Are these like ancestors, or are these like?
Yeah, you actually
unbelievers?
notice that 4 of them. One of them in the center has his hood up still, and there's 4 others that have their hoods lowered. They're the 4 people you've encountered.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna mention this after the fight, but
I mean, I saw them on the board. That's why I was.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And I said, just say, Mido, I don't like this. Can we,
I don't like this.
please, Mido. Throughout the, Goff is just kind of fruitlessly pleading with Mido to fucking cut it out.
Cut this shit out. Come on, man.
Please.
All right. Okay, so she's at this point, because she is engaged with you, she can't really disengage or try to do a spell attack. And her rapier is still the best source of damage, so I just got to go with the rapier. That was rolled off the table. So that first attack is a 21.
Yep.
Second is a natural 20.
Great.
Okay, so wow, I rolled real low. So that's 18 points of piercing damage.
You go with that nat 20?
Yep.
Okay.
I rolled a 2, a 2, and a 3.
Oh, okay. What's the fire?
I'm rolling it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's 22 points of fire damage.
I'm definitely dampening elements.
Okay.
Well, alright.
So you take 11 points of fire damage as
Yes.
she rushes in and sweeps her rapier across your chest, and then, having knocked your shield away from the blow, she drives it down toward you, getting into a critical area. And that brings us to you.
I'm gonna push her away, and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds
Okay.
on myself.
That's your action?
Yes.
Okay.
Cure Wounds at 5th level.
Woohoo! See, I told you. Get the heals, man.
Get the heals to pay the bills.
So that's gonna be a minus of my spell points, and that's so Cure Wounds is 1d8, so it's just 5d8. Okay. Pardon me for a second while I roll 5d. Hold on, I need to put the numbers down, or I'll forget what they are. Okay, and then the math. 18, 19, 24 HP. Okay, it's not as much as I wanted it to be, but
It's still a lot, man.
Yeah,
It's
so
like a full round of damage.
Yeah. So I get back 24. I place my right hand on my chest and just for the critical area, whatever she just fucked up, and I take some of that away, and
You have your bonus actions.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think about how I want to use that. I might just go for the. I mean, I guess I probably should just keep doing damage. I'm just reviewing my options. I'm gonna roll a con save. What's the DC on it?
Oh.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 9. I don't have it anymore.
Okay, so the grasping vine is gone. As it fizzles out of existence.
I wasn't really using it.
Shrivels up.
Just yeah. Wait, I might have an idea. Wait, sorry. It's hard to remember all the spells I have, so I have to keep scrolling through to remember what they are. Wait, what spell level is that? What spell is the spell? What level is the spell that I'm trying to find?
Tell me and I can look it up.
No, I found it. Okay, let me just check to see if there's a saving throw with this and what it is. Okay. Oh wait, I only have a bonus action, so I can't do this yet. My bad.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so bonus action. I'm just gonna keep hitting her with a shield.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Right. Yes, 14 plus.
Yep,
8.
that hits. Roll your damage.
7 force, and no, that's it. It doesn't have the element. Okay. 7 force.
Just
damage.
7 total. Okay.
Yep.
That's your turn.
I rolled a 3, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's your full turn. Okay.
Yep.
At this point, Mido is reeling. There's just smoke absolutely billowing off of her body, through her ears, her eyes, her mouth, just trailing off of her. At this point, she looks like she is bloodied and bruised and beaten, but she is nonetheless going to still continue to strike at you with her rapier. That one I don't think hits. That's a 16.
Nope.
And the second one is a 21.
Yep.
Or 22, actually. Okay, so she rushes in for one attack, which you managed to blunt with your shield, but then she gets under it and strikes upward for 6 points of piercing damage and an additional 12 points of fire damage.
As elements.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do.
She thrusts the rapier upward. It slices across your neck a little bit, leaving a gash and a trail of fire.
Goth. Okay, so is that all she does?
I'm trying to see if she can do anything as a bonus action. I'll solicit comments from the player.
Yeah. Hey, Lauren, how can you kill your friend?
I don't think there's
fucker?
anything you can do as a bonus action. I'm looking at your
The
spell
bonus
list.
action, I don't really have anything. I mean, I could,
You can do the cantrip.
but I would
And
have to
attack
cast the
action?
cantrip first.
Yes, and honestly, your rapier out damages the cantrip.
Yeah,
rapier
so I
combo
haven't been using that
on
one so
every
much. I'm waiting.
level.
I'm waiting for it to let me cast.
First level spells,
Yeah.
and then you can use Scorching Ray probably.
Yeah.
I figured. Okay, so that's going to be her turn. Goff.
As I take the hit and I push her away again, I say, "I've been talking to the wrong person. Umberlee,
You hear a hissing sound escape from
please
smoke.
remove yourself from my friend's body."
Me.
And I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians
Oh.
as I yell it, and I swing my hammer kind of in like a
Okay.
battle swing, like above my head.
that's a wisdom saving throw, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm putting a big cloud of
Big ol'
little of light animals and weird little like flying like
I'm not.
cherubs
I mean,
and
I
shit,
failed
and,
the
like,
saving throw, but I'm not even going to have you roll damage. How do you want to do this?
Nice.
As I yell this, and light just comes from fucking nowhere in here. All these deer and birds and like I don't know, they're like centaur-like animals that show up. I don't know, like just all those kinds of like magical forest gay creatures. They all and maybe like in kind of like hidden behind pillars and stuff. Like maybe some like archers, like lit like light form archers sort of thing.
Okay.
Hidden kind of like ranger-looking dudes. Like they all just kind of form and they all swirl around out of my hammer, like almost kind of like I'm like I'm forcing them out with centrifugal force and create this swirling cloud, and then I bring the hammer down onto the ground and make a shockwave, and it kind of hits them all, and then like as they get hit by it, they all kind of like redirect themselves and all fly in, like they all fly into Mido the way that the smoke did, and force the rest of the smoke out.
Okay. So as your tattoos begin glowing,
non-lethal.
Yes. Well, I mean, you can't technically do non-lethal spells, but we're doing it for this purpose.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
This was
it's good to know for the future.
Yeah, you can only do melee attacks as non-lethal.
Okay.
So as you hold your hammer high and your tattoos begin to illuminate one by one, the musty darkness of the tomb begins to fill with a divine light as a number of spiritual forest creatures begin to dance around you. Dryads and centaurs and various creatures, treants, begin to materialize around the tomb. And then all at once you direct your ire toward Umberly, and they all fly within Mido, like a pincer attack. And you see her drop her sword to the ground, and then after a moment she holds her head up toward the sky and violently expels this black smoke out of her mouth. It wafts into the air, growing larger and larger in a cloud above you. Ultimately, Mido collapses to the ground, choking and gasping. Mido, you're at 1 hit point. This cloud finally reforms in the center of the room and hisses at you.
As it's forming... Oh, was she going to say something?
No, go on.
I was saying, whether you like it or not, I'm going to save your children. The Blue Hearts will protect this land.
She hisses at you. No, we do not need any outsiders. And she seems to...
I disagree.
Circle around and begin to make another attack towards you as she starts rushing towards you. And then suddenly you hear a voice bellow out from the far end of the room. Enough! And you see at the far end of the room the 5 spirits, 4 of whom you have seen already, their hoods down, Fioli, Vuni, Vagath, and Eglig Cragbreaker, all silently watching you, with a 5th figure in their midst, male, his hood still up, and he points toward the turbulent cloud in the center of the room, Umberly's avatar, and he says, Queen of the Depths, you made a pact with these people of these isles once upon a time. You will honor that pact. This one has completed your trial. Be gone from this place. With a hiss and a sigh, the cloud spins up again and shoots up into the air and dissipates.
I immediately heal Mido for cure wounds.
Okay. Mido, you're once again in possession
5th level.
of your faculties.
Do I know?
You saw everything, yes. You just had no control over your body.
Hold on, sorry, I'm doing math for your benefit. Okay, Mido heals 19 HP. Oh wait, do I include my wisdom modifier for that, right? I didn't do that when I healed myself before. Whoops. So it's actually 23 HP for Mido. So she's not at 1 hit point anymore.
How much do I have now?
24. You should have 24.
Okay, I can't control my...
Oh, sorry. It's not your token. Let me...
Oh, you have a separate one?
I made a separate one. I should have. Hold on, Ren. Yeah, there you go. You should have it now, and I can put these back on the screen as well. The bars. You should have control over that now.
Mito, I'm sorry.
About what? That wasn't your fault. That was. Oh, and she's like shaking because she just feels really violated. If that makes sense, is that?
You came with me, and you paid a price. I had to hit you a lot, and that probably wasn't very good either. I'm sorry that she did this to you.
I'm just glad you're okay. Because I was afraid. I don't know what I would do if I ended up being one that,
It's okay.
I can see you're hard to kill.
It is my job to make myself and others hard to kill.
Yeah.
You hear a voice from the far end of the room once more, as the hooded figure once more speaks. Child of these isles, you have passed the trials set before you. Step forward.
Role playing.
What?
I step forward.
Okay.
On the board and also yeah.
The hooded figure in the center looks to the left and then to the right at the other spirits surrounding him. And he says, Witnesses, what say you? What did you see? To the left of him, Fioli and Vuni Cragbreaker stand. And they say, he displayed patience and wisdom. He sought advice from his ally. And though he was not able to discern in his own mind what the true cause was, he was nonetheless confident based on his past knowledge. He brought to bear other factors beyond just what he saw, trusting not just his eyes, but his insight. The hooded figure turns to the right. Vagath speaks. This one displays resourcefulness and a commitment to his comrades. He would willingly sacrifice himself so that others may live. It is a noble act. At that point, Eglig, who's also to his right, speaks as well. He displays an indomitability of spirit. When facing an impossible situation, he made a choice. And he chose his friends. The figure in the middle of the room speaks once more. Very well. You have succeeded in the tests laid before you. Know that you have the blessings of your ancestors. Though you may think little of us, we cast our eyes favorably upon our words and deeds. He's silent for a moment. It is ultimately your decision whether you choose to take your name beyond these shores. But know that from this day forward, you will be known among the children of these isles as Goff of the Stillwaters, champion of Eldath. After a moment, the figure lowers his hood, revealing a long, flowing beard and a bald head. You recognize the face of your father, Lacan. My son. Closes his eyes and you can see a faint smile on his lips. For what it is worth, I am sorry for the treatment done to you by your brothers. For my absence, I was not a good parent. I cared so much for ambition and glory that I did not look to the troubles around my own hearth. But know that through it all, I have always been proud of you. My only regret is that I could not tell you in life. He's silent.
You were wrong about Drak. Goff is crying a lot.
He has a quizzical expression on his face.
At least what he told me. You did not think he was good enough. He said that you wanted me to lead. But I am not meant to lead these people. But he is. He did what was best for them. And what he thought you would want. He was cruel to me, and that is not to be forgiven. But he's leading these people to the best of his ability, and I hope you're proud of him now.
He hangs his head a little bit sorrowfully. When we had to sentence you to death, I believed I had failed. I died and left this world believing myself to have failed. But there is wisdom in your words. And just as I was not there for you, it seems I was not there for the rest of my children.
I did not have a relationship with you that I can recall fondly, but I accept your apology. It cannot undo what has been done. But in a way, I think you succeeded. It is a cruel way. You drove me away. You and Drak and Ottor and Orn. You all drove me away from a cruel land. And while I lost much, and I've died at least once. He turns to Mido a little bit. I found people much better than I could find here. In a sick, cruel way, you taught me to be weary. And I will not forgive you or Drak for what you've done, but I know you were only doing what you thought was best. And have you not pushed me away, whether you intended to or not, I would have not found a better place to be, and I would have not found reasons worth living and people worth protecting. I have complicated feelings.
Would that men in life could see the future. Perhaps that would not have made so many mistakes. With you, with your brothers. With the bloody war for reunification.
Father, please.
But what's done is done. And you are here now.
Had not done what you had done. If I had not suffered the way that I had, I would have not met people that I needed to meet. And this world would be in much greater danger than it is. Because
I can see that now.
There are things beyond these islands. Things in the great and the great beyond Othara. Beyond Fatum. There are things working against all the good people. Against the crag breakers and the clans. Against the Arcadians. The people of the thicket. Everyone is in danger. And we're going to do our best We're going to put everything we have into preventing that from happening. You did something right.
He
You
lowers
sent me
his
to
head.
where I needed to be. But you
He
didn't,
lowers his head thoughtfully.
and I didn't know either.
He seems thoughtful. I can see you have found strong friends. And I suppose that is enough. For a man is judged by the comrades he keeps. My son, Goff, please save these lands. It's one final request that I have.
We must.
Then you go with our blessing and the blessings and eyes of your ancestors upon you. Be well. And fight. And he nods once more. The other spirits, they nod. And then they vanish in a burst of light that gently falls to the ground in a sprinkling of stars. The crypt is quiet once more.
Goff is just kind of falls to his knees.
Goff,
Yes.
are you okay? That was pretty heavy.
Well, you and I, we're used to carrying heavy things, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's why we must be strong.
He's on his knees.
He's just, yeah, he's kind of like on his knees with his arms at his sides. He's kind of just looking down, kind of like he's in disbelief.
Okay, hang on a second. How tall is he when he's on his knees?
Really tall. I don't know, like, still like, I think he's still like 6 feet or 7 feet tall.
Mino gives him a hug.
He kind of
A
does
really
one arm.
firm hug.
He does want one arm return to that, and he kind of tilts his head or something, and he just says, even though there's no the spirits on there, he says, "Thank you for using the name that I've chosen. I don't know if you can still hear me, but thank you." And he just kind of he looks like he feels awkward about the fact that he just spoke out into the air, but
Yeah, in the middle of a hug.
yeah.
So weird. Mito just kind of awkwardly lets go of him. She thought that would be a more impactful moment, but
No, it was. No, I just mean like he said it. He was saying it out to his ancestors.
no, I know.
He was like hugging her as he said it. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard you totally.
What'd you think I said?
I thought you said he didn't hug her back. I'm like, that was weird.
No, he did a one arm thing. I said he did a one arm. He took one
That's
on
see,
the
I
side.
misunderstood. I
Oh.
misunderstood. See,
No,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he
Okay.
was hugging you. Yeah, he was holding you as he said it. Like he had
Oh.
like. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It was a Okay. Well, what do you think? Still waters.
It's pretty good. I think it fits you very well.
Me too.
Maybe it means
it's
you're
probably
like-
the what?
Maybe it means you're like calm and shit.
Very wise.
I nod
It's-
sagely.
I think Sissel would say it's a pretty cool.
Yeah, she would say that.
Well,
We should go.
yes,
Are you ready?
yes.
Okay. You quietly, wordlessly make your way back out. of the
Actually, On the way back, I want to say something to Mido.
Okay.
As we're walking. Mido. I need to ask you something. What Owen did to you in your life and your loved one is unforgivable. And I know you have every intent of killing him the moment you can. And I do not blame you. And I would not fault you if you did. And I have no intention of defending him for what he's done. But Eldath told me I had to save him. What do you think about that?
Mina just kind of looks away and looks back at Goff.
She looks away, then what?
She looks away for a moment, like she's trying to gather her thoughts. And then she looks back at Goff and I don't know what I think about it.
Do you understand? Do you understand why I ask? Our goals are to follow her word. I would be preventing you from something you seek to do. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to tell you something, to tell you what you can or cannot do, because this is not my place to tell you how you must react to him.
I will think about it.
Maybe we will figure it out.
We will.
Maybe we could keep him alive, but you could take something. Or I don't know. I'm not good at this kind of. I'm not good at vengeance.
I won't. You're my dear friend, and I care about you, I guess. It's very hard for me to. And she's just kind of like, her hands are kind of like she's like wringing her hands, like she doesn't really know how to talk. Like she's really nervous or something, sort of.
Goff just puts one of his hands on the hands that she's like wringing together.
I'm not good at this. You're my friend, and I don't want to get in the way of your...
I don't want to get in the way either. But...
Sure. I'm sure Emmeline would call me a fool for the way I...
No. We come face to face with him. We will have words.
Maybe it doesn't have to be that.
At this point, I'd say you're reaching the front of the tomb.
Yeah.
The front is still closed. What do? You just...
Well,
I'd say at this point you walk up to the tomb door and you slam your fist against it. After a moment, the tomb door is pulled away by two large Goliath hands. You see Gotham squinting into the darkness, and you actually have to adjust your eyesight a little bit because you're just met by this blinding sunlight.
Okay.
As you step out once more into the fresh air, and you see your friends gathered around. They've been waiting for you all this time.
How long has it been for that? Like, how long has this all taken place for? Like, half hour, an hour?
I'd say probably longer than this. I'd say probably like an hour, hour and a half. You've been in there a while. I mean, I did not anticipate this taking the whole session. I'm sorry everybody.
Yeah,
We've just
it
been
was
sitting
fun.
around.
No, it's on me. I was taking way too long with that first try. I was really trying to. I felt looking at it like a brain puzzle that had an accident. I was really trying.
There was
to
literally
solve
no
it.
answer to that.
I figured that out later, but when I first started doing it, I was like, there's got to be an answer. It's like one of those things. It's like, like one of those like dinner table puzzles where like who sits where, who's doing what. And I'm like, it's one of those things, right? And I was trying to figure out like who did what.
No.
I didn't figure out the whole nature of the trials right away. My bad, everyone. Sorry.
I thought it was fun to listen to.
Okay, so as you both step out, the rest of you see Goff and Maidonia emerge from the tomb. They seem a little worse for wear. They're kind of their armor seems a little dented in places. They're bleeding a little bit here and there. Goff has got a number of fire singes all over his armor.
Mino's got some too.
Yeah, Mino looks
probably
pretty
has,
bad.
Yeah, Mino looks real.
I mean,
They look like they've been roughed up.
Well, I was going to say thank God you're alive, but it looks like you're a little worse for wear.
How'd you fucking do?
well, we're not dead. And, I was given a name. So pretty well, I suppose. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought there was more to that sentence.
Oh, sorry. It was
Goff's quite
wrenching.
the fighter.
It was wrenching, but,
So, what happened?
well, there were 3 trials. And they definitely know how to... They know how to pull from your fears. And they know how to get into your mind.
I think you
saw-
do that.
The ancestors we spoke to were kind, and they answered what they could, but we had to witness what I imagined to be Liza's death at Medici's hand. And I saw everyone. I saw Liza on the ground, Anna, and Medici and Jack, Walden, and I believe I must have seen your parents, Ellen, but I do not know what they look like, so they had no face. And we had to discern. They wanted us to see what I decided, how I decided who killed her, and we did. And then there was a trial with. I kind of stumbles a little bit. I'd rather not get into that. I don't want to talk about what happened in the other 2 right now.
Okay, you don't have to.
It was very taxing. But I will tell you, when we got to the end, we had to face an extra trial. Umberlee herself, or an avatar, stopped us from finishing. And I look at Mino, side-eye Mino a little bit. Let's just say, it got a bit complicated, but we're fine.
You know, Goff's quite the fighter.
She possessed Mino and I had to fight Mino.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought we were going to keep that to ourselves.
Well, it felt weird that we didn't talk about it.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy.
Well, I hope she doesn't do that again.
She did not seem happy that I am here. She is convinced that I am trying to spread Eldath to the islands and override her influence.
Goff, you couldn't hear me while I was... Well, I was pretty much mentally screaming that whole time.
I believe you. She was convinced of that. Despite... No one's ever said that. I don't know why. She just must be paranoid. But
Do guns get paranoid?
I don't know.
Maybe. Was
Maybe.
there like? I mean,
What?
I know some gods used to be mortal. They can have feelings like that, I think.
She does not. She does not like Eldath. That is putting it gently.
They seem to be at a bit of opposing ends.
But very interesting. I didn't even know there was one of my ancestors worshipped Eldath too.
Really?
That was crazy. It's what you'd say, right? Crazy. I was so excited.
She would say. That's what she
I
would
was so
say.
excited.
We were saying, Sissel would say, that's cool.
No, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm Goff kind of realizing he kind of got a little bit
Wild and crazy.
enthusiastic. He got a little enthusiastic out of his normal demeanor. He sort of resents a little bit. He's like, well, his name was Eglig. Was very cool. There was a deeper history. There was a deeper history to this place long before, and I knew nothing about it. But the end, after we bested Emberly, I faced the ancestors that judged me. And my father, Bakan.
Oh.
It was... It was a conversation that I needed to have. And I feel better for it.
Did he... Was it not what you expected?
I don't know what I expect. Everything that my family has been telling me and doing I've heard about since we came here is not what I expected. So by that point, hatred, love, could have been either way. Sorrow, forgiveness, or not forgiveness, sorry, sorrow, remorse was the flavor that I witnessed, and it did not expect it, but I needed to hear it. I told him some things he needed to hear too. And they called me Goff of Still Waters.
It's a very good. That's what we were talking about when he said the names. He said that Sissel would say it was cool. That's what
I thought Sissel would think it was cool.
Yeah,
yes.
well, you're right. I do think that's cool.
This is pretty cool.
Arca's a little bit. But I don't want to ever do that again.
Well,
You're telling
fortunately,
me.
it doesn't seem like you're going to have to.
So, Goff of Still Waters, you ready to go rub this in your brother's face?
Oh, I don't want to.
Yes, but it'd be pretty satisfying.
I know.
At least the
but that's not
piratey
who
one.
I am. Well, I have different words I want to have with him. Duroc. He's complicated.
While this is all going on, Gotham Cragraker, the captain of the guard, he's been standing quietly, waiting for you to be finished.
I was going to say one more thing to Ellen,
Sure.
because I just saw the text. Yes, I believe that is part of the name. Champion of Eldath?
Yes.
Was that part of it?
I mean, that's
Sorry, I was when you said the name, I was like so overcome with emotion that I wasn't.
yeah.
it was
That's also part of it. You can shorten it if you wish, but it can.
Yeah.
But that's the full moniker.
I say that I confirm as a yes. Yes. Goff of Still Waters, champion of Eldath, to Ellen. Okay, I just wanted to respond to her.
Okay. At this point, Gotham looks to the rest of you. And he says, "Very well, Jorg. No, that is not your name anymore. Goff of Still Waters.
Thank you.
Your brother will want to see you."
Yes, very well.
Ushers you forward back toward the top of the mountain as the sun is beginning to set. And you make your way toward the citadel once more, following the path that you did before, up to the bedroom at the very top of the keep, where you see Jirac sitting at a desk in the corner, a drinking horn to one side, and he seems to be poring over some correspondence.
As we go in, I'm gonna turn to everyone and say, "Would you be okay if I went in alone?"
I mean, it would be fun to talk to your brother about it, but I guess so.
Please don't, and I'm not going to. I want to talk to it, and I don't. There's no problem with you being there, but I feel maybe it will help him.
Alright.
And if anything goes wrong, well, you'll know. I'm sorry. I will be back. I go in.
Okay. You step into the room.
So you do have the earrings, so yeah, you can. Okay.
You step into the room. You find Jirok sitting at a desk in the far corner of the room. He's poring over some correspondence. He's got a drinking horn to his side that he occasionally takes a swig from. As he hears the doors open, he casts a sideward glance in your direction. And
wait, can I do something really corny?
Sure.
I want to push the doors open like Aragorn does when he's at Helm's Deep. When he pushes the doors open and there's like light coming through and he's all sweaty and all his shit's ruined.
Yeah.
I do it like that. I do it super cool.
Right. So you push the doors open. You see your brother. He casts you a sideward glance, and he's scowling at first, and he kind of raises an eyebrow, and then he turns more fully to face you in his chair, and he says, "You've returned."
Yes.
Well, did you pass?
I did.
What was the name they gave you?
Goff. Stillwater. Champion of
He seems to... He looks away for a moment, as if he is in thought, and then he looks back toward you, kind of thinking. He looks to be in thought. He seems to be appraising you. He almost looks at you in a way that he's never really looked at you before. Almost as if he's judging your self-worth, but finding that you match up to what he expected. After a moment, he gets up from his chair and he walks over toward you. And he kind of stands at arm's length away from you. Well, in times like this, it's tradition to embrace, but I think that we're long past that. You're kind of breaking up, Tom.
It is not necessary.
No. But if the ancestors judge you worthy, then I suppose that is favorable.
I would hope.
I've been looking over correspondence from the other Jarls. The spiritual sightings have been worsening.
Jirok,
Yes.
I would like to talk about what's going on.
Then sit. And he gestures toward a table with a couple of chairs at it.
But
He walks.
I'll sit down, but as I sit down, I'll say, but before we talk about that, I want to tell you something. And you're going to listen.
He kind of huffs a little bit. He doesn't seem like too keen on listening to you, but he keeps us quiet.
You would not listen to me before, but you will listen to me today. Perspective is a fragile thing, and everyone has a different one. We all see the past, we see our own lives through different lenses. And while you know you were cruel to me, you know you've made major mistakes, you're aware. And you told me when I came here, you told me that our father wanted me to lead the people, that he shunned you in that regard. He saw you as less important, or he punished you. Now you should not have done what you did to me, but that is not what I'm talking about. You were treated poorly by our father, and I know you have respect for him. I'm not here to disrespect him. I'm here to tell you the truth. Your father misjudged you. He misjudged me and our brothers. He told me. I spoke to him. He told me.
Kind of looks
He
up
was
at
wrong.
you when you say that.
And I told him he was wrong to judge you the way he did back when we were children. I was not meant to lead these people, Durak. Despite what Father may have told you, or what you may have believed, or what may have been implied, it was never meant to be me. I could not do what you do. There is strength in the leadership you hold as High King, as following in the footsteps of our father. It takes great sacrifice and strength to do that, and you have done so. I may have not agreed with every way you may have gone about it, but I wasn't here, was I? You wouldn't have listened to me even if I was. I was not meant to do what you do, and you are not meant to do what I do. I have my own things I must do. I have my own people that I love and I must protect. And I was meant to find them. You, our brothers and father. You didn't know you were doing so, and I didn't know it either, but you put me in the direction of people better for me. People that I could trust, people that I could protect and would protect me, and people that had a greater vision. I have found my path, and you, whether you feel remorse or resentment for not doing the things exactly as you would have wanted to do, maybe you're doing things your father would have done that you didn't want to do, but you chose this path. You bore the title of Unifier. You are doing what Father did not, what Otto and Orn and I did not. You are protecting these people, and you are leading them, and you are keeping them safe, and you are doing your best in face of impossible, unspeakable, indescribable odds. You are trying to protect them. Are you not?
He, as you're continuing to speak, his face kind of changes from a scowl to a little bit more contemplative, as if he's listening and thoughtfully appraising what you're saying. No longer meeting your eyes, he's just sort of got his hands in his lap and he's looking down at them as he's thinking. Kind of scrunches his face up a little bit. I am.
That is your path. This is where you must be. You made sacrifices, as did I. But the good that you are doing, despite what the mistakes you've made, do you not believe it outweighs the mistakes?
I guess our ancestors will judge that one day.
In Arcadia, in other lands, other cities, there are rulers who are corrupt, and those that have been infiltrated by dark forces, those seeking to destroy that from within, to harm the people. But you are not. You hold firm this, what you call it, kingdom, land. You are protecting it, and you are free of evils like such as those. You are doing the right thing, even if you stumble along the way. When you look back on the life you've led and the history we share, I beg of you, try to not look back on it with resentment towards what maybe Father wanted. Because he knows he was wrong in how he treated us. He knows he was wrong to assume or to anything of the sort. And I know that if I could not have done what you do, I could not have handled this kind of pressure. I have to make different decisions, not the ones that you must make. I cannot make your decisions, only you can. You wield great purpose, and I just want you to know, or to believe, if you can, that your life has not been a great mistake.
He still seems to be deep in thought. I will consider what you said.
That is all I ask.
Well, off of the still waters. And he kind of looks you up and down as if he's kind of approvingly almost. It's strange to see him looking at you like that now. You have proven yourself. Your friends must yet prove themselves as well.
Yes. Yes.
And we should make for Devil Hollow in the morning.
Is there anything
word? He
You
pauses.
Sorry.
What's up?
Sorry. Was there something urgent you wanted me to tell me before I interrupted?
The missives from the other Jarls, they've been reporting increased sightings, and not all of them are as benign as those in Rhine Harbor. Forge Shaper Hold on the coast, where our shipyards are at the Moon Forge. It's been attacked in a similar way to Umberlee's Embrace by revenants who have dragged many of our craftsmen into the sea. There have been reports of terrible creatures up in the mountains, specters that have harried the Madmanes and the Grey Striders. We must make haste. If
We do not have time. They are accelerating.
Very well. Well, if your friends wish to brave this journey as well, they must prove themselves to the clans, and then once that is completed, I will assemble the Jarls and we will make our move.
Very well. We move in the... what time of day is it?
It's getting toward the evening.
We will go to... And then how long did it take to travel from...
About half a day.
The challenge will
half
be
a day.
tomorrow.
Yes. I'll send word to Jarl Talengard. Tell him to prepare. We have ways of sending missives quickly, as I'm sure you have magic of similar
Yes.
sorts. We've picked up a little bit of it ourselves.
Very good. I am confident that my allies will succeed.
You will not participate in their trial.
I know.
Very well. So, your time is your own until tomorrow morning. You will travel with the Kragsguard and myself tomorrow morning as we make our way toward the pit. And you will be a guest of honor with myself before the crowds as your friends undergo their challenge.
Very well.
He kind of nods to you and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yes. We will. After this, we will do all that we can to help save people.
I must prepare our forces as well. We will not stand alone.
That is good to hear. I nod.
He gets back up. He gets up from the chair and he goes back to his desk and begins going over the correspondence once more.
All right, I make my way out.
Okay.
Make it for the way then.
So, you rejoin your friends. And you make your way back out of the Citadel, back out onto the mountain pass, with the incredible vista of Craigbreaker Hold arrayed out before you, the shimmering waters of Lake Dorhan to your north. Contemplating your next moves and what you must do in order to save these people. I think that is where we'll wrap up tonight.
Hooray.
Sorry that it was basically the Goff and Mito show for 4 hours.
That's okay. I fucking love that
It's
that fucking sword where Mino got possessed by Umbra.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
I
it was
didn't,
so
I didn't. I did not.
fucking good.
I didn't catch
I had
on.
a feeling, but I was just like,
I did not actually catch it at all until it happened.
I thought it was. I just thought it was gonna be some big undead Goliath or something.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like an old ancestor or something,
Yeah.
and then
when she was
fucking-
cagey about who it was, I was just like,
When you asked her if your ally will fight with you, and I said, yeah, your ally will fight with you.
yeah,
Yeah, your ally
definitely.
will fight with
Your
you.
ally
I
will
was
definitely
like,
be
what?
fighting.
The way that Falk said it, I'm like,
I didn't even catch that. I was like, I was sitting here. I was just sitting here being angry
yeah,
about
it was just
Umberlee.
it was just specifically the way that he didn't like emphasize the word, but he emphasized the fact that you would be fighting with Mito. That was like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Odium
I was
voice. I've already chosen a champion.
I was just thinking about how I was just sitting there being angry about Umberlee being in my way, so I didn't even catch it. I was just overcome with being like, "Fuck this!" Like,
She kind of sucks. She's bad.
He.
She's bad, Todd.
yeah.
You like
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like this.
I definitely wasn't.
She's red aesthetic.
I definitely didn't anticipate to actually just like speak to her. That was pretty fucking wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dang.
I think I've spoken to Umberlee for a more word count total than I have to Eldath.
yeah. Well, she's kind of an evil lady, so.
Right. Well, yeah. I just think it's funny that I've been worshiping Eldath pretty much my whole life, and she said like maybe one sentence to me, and
Just sent a couple sentences.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you didn't even. You'll probably meet Eldeath one day, I'm sure,
I
once
would
you get
hope
high enough
so.
levels. But I mean, you didn't meet Umberlee. You met like an avatar of Umberlee. It
Well,
was
but
like
she
speaking
was
through.
still Umberlee speaking. Yeah, I
It
still
wasn't.
spoke
It wasn't
to her.
actually her manifesting in the world, though. It
Well, I
wasn't
know,
the
I know.
actual God.
Well, yeah, if she manifested, she'd be like a fucking huge like
Yeah.
seal witch or something. Like,
Yeah, she'd be like Ursula from the Little Mermaid. but-
Yeah,
Goth would
she'd be like-
die.
no, I would have lost. Yeah. It was
Man,
like-
I did not expect that to take the full session. I thought maybe it would take half the session, the other
I
half
think-
would be
I
in the
think
pit with that fight. But
I'm sorry. That's just the way I am. I'm very thorough.
Ah,
there was a lot of RP moments, which is good.
yeah.
So I just feel bad because like rule 1 of DMing is don't like do something that excludes some players because then it just gets really shitty for those players.
Yeah.
I was
I
having
feel
a
bad
good
about that.
time.
No, it's fine.
I try to make it as
don't
dramatic
know.
as possible so people will be having a good time.
that was fun. That was fun. I don't know. It,
It
was
was good
obviously.
golf moments.
Kind of glad you didn't pick Roscoe because that would have been really fucking boring for
That
everybody.
That also would have been really sad. I don't want to have to see Goth
Right,
beat up
that
on
was-
his dog.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I would have just not. I'm pretty sure I
We've
would have
already-
just.
Oh, sorry.
What?
It wouldn't even be the first time we've had to fight like
Yeah.
a possessed
Yeah.
Roscoe.
Well, it's because of Roscoe that Goff knew what to do.
Yeah.
I think, or kind of. He thought about that in that moment. He was like, "Oh, I had to like physically beat this possession out of her."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she would have. She was the whole time. She was like cheering for you.
she was like, "Ow! Yay! Ow!
Yeah, yeah, fuck yeah, beat the shit out of me.
Beating up your friends fills you with determination. Uh,
Oh man.
man, I heard you get choked up near the end there. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
No,
I
did
heard
you-
somebody
when you s-
crying.
I heard you like whimper almost. I was like,
No,
holy
I
shit.
think it was when you said the title. I was like, really.
Yeah.
I was like making a very small, sad whimpering sound like over and over again because I was trying to hold back. I was like choking back, like sobbing.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought about that a lot. I was
Another
like,
one down.
Tom's gonna love this name.
I was really
Good.
looking forward to it. Ever since I made the character, I was like, I really want Goth to have a title because I think that'd be cool.
Hmm.
That's very important. Getting to
So-
talk back to my dad. A lot of good things happened.
yeah.
So that's we've made Tom cry. You've made me cry. We've made.
I've already
Mel
God,
cry.
I gotta get Alex. I
Lauren-
still haven't gotten Alex.
We got it. Yeah.
Lauren
I've-
cried a lot.
I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't know what Alex's like.
well, I think
hot
the
buttons
trouble
are.
is that I made her ice really quick, so I didn't leave. You did really good job with like the limited backstory I got, but like I don't know. I don't think many of my my particular tier triggers are inherent in her character.
We'll get
Yeah,
you soon
it's
enough.
difficult. I'll figure it out
One day, I believe
one
it.
day.
You gotta get
When
that
I'm
team
when
killer.
I'm a real emotional bench, and I'll just
I get Mel a lot too, which is really
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
funny.
I think you got Mel tonight too.
Yeah, I have plans for Ellen.
Oh God.
Oh man.
That's coming up. The Ellen subplot is going to
boy.
come up soon.
The Ellen subplot is probably
boy.
gonna kill me. Like every time we've had like a swerve with Ellen's subplot, it's just been like, oh.
I got custom playlists for it.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm gonna hit it hard. It's gonna be pretty bad.
Oh man, that's exciting. All right, I'm gonna.
I got more plans for the Blood of Steel song in here 8th too. So
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, I gotta go find all those instruments.
Yeah.
hey, if you want to do that, yeah.
Powerful
Start
bass.
start a band.
I realized that I kind of copy pasted like the information on instruments of the bard into that, and so it makes it sound like the Steel Song Clan is a school of bards, which is not. So
Oh.
I mean, it could be if you want it to be.
Yeah, it seemed like there were other instruments out there that had different spells on them.
Yeah, they're all-
Man,
Now I'm
You-
basically a wizard.
I didn't emotionally break down as much as when I actually like talked to the ancestors at the end, and hearing all the cool shit they said about me was like really powerful. But like the last trial really fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like I knew at the
yeah,
end,
I heard that. I heard
I knew
that
at the
too.
end what Goff would do, and that's what I did. But like, I don't know, something about the fact that I was choosing between like Ellen's children and Sissel's like foster mom or foster aunt or whatever, and
Yeah,
I don't know, that
Cecil
really.
Wizard was there too. He was
I don't remember you mentioning him, but yeah.
No, I said like a lot of the.
Wizard?
I said like a lot of the civilians from your.
Oh, like all the people that we've met. Yeah, like hearing like the fact that they like it was all of them. It just I don't know, that really fucked me up. I was like I knew what the right answer was for Goff for in his like arc would be, but I
I was
just like
surprised you didn't try to like send Maida over to help them while you helped.
that was her decision. Goff just did what he was like overcome with the situation, just ran towards what I don't know. He wasn't thinking tactically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta.
I know
I
it's
know what
just.
happens in those situations.
Mida was
I-
just following Goff because
I
it
didn't
was
make a
his
good
trial.
description. I didn't make a good description of the creature that was attacking the Blue Hearts in that scenario, but it was basically the Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
Oh shit.
Oh. Yeah, I can see that. I remember you saying something about a mouse.
Tom, look at next IV. We're probably not gonna get this forever. Also, I'm gonna stop recording and upload this.
What is this? What is this outfit?
It's not the outfit.
that's
it's the.
That's a 310 outfit, isn't it?